audio.
So you're like you hooked it up. Yeah, that's nice. Where did you? Is that just from Amazon? Let me see your mic. What'd you get? Do you have one of the gaming ones with lights and shit on it?
It
Oh,
has
what is that?
light.
Are you taking orders? Are you at the Red Lobster? That looked like an order just came down for you. What the
I
fuck
just,
was
I just, I
that?
just printed, I just printed a soap order.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh yeah. Look at you. Shit.
This whole thing, it has a USB-C, and I just plug it right into my computer, with one cord that goes into my mic, and then my headphones, and it's the same thing on my phone. It's the easiest setup ever.
Oh, do you have an adapter? So it goes. Is the mic USB C or is that what you said?
So I have a USB-C cord that goes into my laptop or my phone,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
that runs into the mic, and the mic has USB-C going from the mic, and then whatever this thing is right into the headphones. So
Yeah.
I don't need anything else.
How much was that?
I think it was like 250.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's a fucking good company.
It's good.
Sure. How come you're not like loading a truck or hosing something down or? I know that this isn't normally a great time for you. I was surprised I got you.
Yeah, we just so I loaded pigs yesterday morning, and that was the last group for that barn. So that barn's empty now. So not as busy right there. And then today for training is a lighter day, so I have like an hour of like machines and running and things like that. I haven't looked at it yet, but I kind of skimmed through it. And then I'll just be making candles most of the rest of the day.
Oh, that's fun. Do you look forward to that?
Yeah, I suck at it right now, so I need to figure this shit out.
Like they're coming out all fucked up looking. Do you have any fucked up ones you can show us?
Oh, dude. Okay, well they don't look fucked up, but let me see if I can bring this over here. I don't know
I
if I can.
saw I saw your wax melting machine or the machine that you liquefied in. That thing's cool. Damn,
Yeah,
dude, your house looks nice.
it's got 10,000 more boxes for hog scrub. Put my soap in. So
Oh, that's nice.
these are like soap holders that aren't on the website yet. But I don't know which one I'm gonna sell. This one's made of concrete. This one's made of rubber.
Oh, let me see that concrete one again. Oh, those are sick. You mean that you put that in the shower with you so it doesn't like stick to stuff?
Yeah, it helps your like so the water will drain off your bar and your bar will
Yeah.
dry out better and it helps your bar last longer.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so I ordered 12 of them to test out and it came in a box that was like as big as my torso, just full of like bubble wrap. So I need to test out shipping them to some friends and just see how easy they break. But then I've got 96 candles or 95 candles here that I've made and I'm testing. So like some of them have an X on the top, and that means we're probably not gonna move forward with that scent. And some of them have a check. That means I'm gonna make them again and do a little bit better job.
Are those all face down, Colton?
Yeah, they're face down just because I have their number on top, so it's easy for me to find. So I have a spreadsheet that has like the number, the scent name, where I got the fragrance from, and then just like notes about it.
Um, how are what's the hard part about doing it? The scents or making it so the wicks are in there right? Or like, did you make each one of those like by hand?
Yeah, so I have my wax melter, and it has a like a 66-pound capacity, and I put like 40 pounds of wax in it, and those are all 4-ounce candles. And I started making them. It was like 8 o'clock 1 week ago, 8 o'clock at night, and I finished making them at like 1:30 because
Oh boy.
just because every one has a different scent, I can't like weigh the scent, mix it with a bunch of wax, and then just pour it into a bunch of candles. That do, it's just very slow to do 4 ounces at a time and weigh the scent for each one. So it took forever, but yeah, like the hard part is so I have 4 or 5 different wick sizes that I'm testing. And then I have to dial in basically the temperature that the wax is when I pour it into the candle, how long I mix the fragrance for, how much fragrance I put in there. Those are really the three main things. And also, once I kind of get that dialed in a little bit more, I have different waxes that I'm going to test. So I have two different kinds here at home. I have another one that's on back order. I'm waiting to get in. So I'm going to figure out like which waxes have a good hot throw. So like when you burn the candle, it has a good the scent smells strong.
Mm.
And which ones are easy to work with. So like basically you want it to have like a smooth top. Some of mine, once they dried and cured, they sunk a little bit. I think it's because I poured them at too high of a temp. So I need to let it cool down like 10 to 15 degrees from its melting temperature before I actually pour it into the container. But dude, one thing I am going to have to get better at is getting that fucking wick to stick in the middle of the candle because mine are all off-centered.
That's interesting what you said about if you pour it too hot, it sinks down. And then does that not burn as well? If it sinks down, if it gets too tight?
So I can just trim the wick, but the main problem I'm having right now is I think I did not. So either one of three things: either this wax just does not produce a very strong hot throw when it's burning, or number two, I didn't mix the fragrance and the wax long enough, which I think is probably more likely, or number three, I didn't put a heavy enough fragrance load. So basically, um, you'll do the fragrance load based on like a percent. So people usually start like between 8 or 9% with their fragrance load. I think I was around 9, but for this wax, I might need to be around 12. So the next ones I make, I'm gonna be doing it. Um, it's like 12% of the candle weight will be from the fragrance scent, and 88 will be from the wax. So I'm gonna try that out. I'm also gonna try stirring it longer before I pour it into the vessel. Because what I've been reading, that you're supposed to stir it for like 1 to 2 minutes, kind of gently, and I stirred for like 10 to 15 seconds vigorously.
What
So
do
it's
you
way much
stir it
trying to
with
get
so the
done.
wax doesn't stick on it?
It's like a rubber, just like a stirring spoon. I can go grab it quick.
That's crazy. I wonder if there's a market for selling candles with scent loads. What a great metric. Scent loads. This is a high scent load. This is a low scent load. Like, and you just put a scent load that's fucking so high in there that it's nauseating. There's got to be someone who would love that. Jolly Rancher scent load.
So is this?
Oh, okay. And does does a shitload of wax stick to it when you pull it out, or it just runs off?
No, it just runs off basically, and then if you just get like a paper towel and wipe it down, then it's pretty much clean, ready to go.
Hey, let me see that. Have you used that spoon?
Yep.
And there's no wax stuck on it?
No, it's completely clean.
Oh, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Hey, you should. What if you have you ever seen candles sold by scent load? What a cool metric to sell them by. Like you could sell one like vomitous scent load. Like it's just so strong. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's like the biggest challenge is I really want to avoid waxes with paraffin, or maybe it's paraben. I can't remember. I always get confused, but it's basically um,
Isn't that the
oil.
shit that keeps mosquitoes away though?
I think it's something maybe might be used for that too. But it's basically an oil um, that's refined and put in the candle, and it helps a lot with the candle's performance. That's helps like release the scent more. I'm trying to stick with just like food oils. So like these waxes that I'm testing are all soy, coconut, and apricot blends. They don't have any other oils in them.
That paraffin's poisonous, right?
I don't know if it's poisonous, but people don't like to burn it in their homes.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think that shit keeps. I think they sell candles and it says paraffin keeps mosquitoes away or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm trying to avoid using that, but then the waxes without it are just more difficult to kind of get everything dialed in on.
How come when I yelled your name at the finish line, you ignored me, but the moment I yelled out sushi, sushi, you turned around and flexed? Wow.
I don't know. I don't have an explanation for you, fool boy.
Do you eat sushi, Colton? You don't seem like a sushi guy.
I've had sushi one time in my life. I don't think it was like real sushi. It was Allie and I went with the owners of CrossFit Teo. But yeah, I don't know what it was. It was a sushi restaurant. I don't think it was real sushi. Like it was fried crab rangoon flavor or whatever.
I see more as just like eating the hot wasabi like ice cream and just skipping the. Do you like wasabi?
I don't think so. I never had it.
Oh, it's like it's that green stuff, and you eat it, and then like it makes your eyes water, and and then all of a sudden you can breathe through your nose like no other. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like it.
Yeah, you'd love it. It's man shit. Sevon, tell Colton to put something extra good in my order I just placed.
Let's see. What did you order?
Oh, now you fucked yourself, Slater.
Okay, good choices.
He approves of the order.
Shopify doesn't like your address.
Oh, that's awesome.
It wants you to remove that space between those words. I'm gonna go ahead and listen to Shopify. All right, I changed your address.
Colton, are you coming to Crash?
I am.
Oh, no shit.
Confirmed. I haven't got like the registration link and paid my fee and all that yet, but I talked to JR and I'm in.
What is the that's in October, right?
Yeah, second week in October maybe.
Are you coming with Allie?
I think so.
Okay. We got an Airbnb. If there's room, you're welcome to stay there. We'd love to have you.
Nice. It'd be fun.
How close is that to the other your other I thought for sure you wouldn't come to Crash this year. Don't you have a ton of shit going on?
Yeah, so I have Wadapalooza, SoCal, like 2 weeks before Crash and Rogue.
Oh, you can
like 2
say
weeks
that
after.
you're going to that?
Doesn't everybody? I mean, it's not official and announced, but
Okay, well done.
who's going to be on the team? I'm going to be on the team. You know,
the Brute team. No,
No.
no, the Proven team.
hmm
Who else is on your team?
I'm probably not allowed to say.
Oh, come
But,
on.
I mean, you guys can probably guess. It's not no surprises.
Is it people coming from Australia?
That'd be a good guess.
Yeah, okay. God, that's gonna be awesome. I'm stoked. Are you bringing Allie?
No.
Okay.
I think the only thing she's going with me to would be Crash.
All right. And she doesn't normally go with you. She usually just goes to the games and like maybe she was at a semifinal.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Hey, did your dad go to the games this year?
No.
Okay. I was wondering. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even see him.
Yeah, it's hard with the farm and it being in California. If it was back in Madison, he'd probably be able to come.
Hey, I had a question for you. How did you end up at where were you before Proven? Were you just your own coach?
Yeah, kind of. I was with Kilo Trained. But then it's like my original coach, Armin, was kind of getting out of CrossFit and doing he's really busy with a lot of other business stuff. He owns other gyms in Florida and he owns like a car wash and all this stuff. So then I was with Kilo Trained, which was the program that he started and kind of handed off to someone else. But it wasn't like individualized at all. So I would kind of tweak their things to kind of make it more individual for me. Like I would do a lot more running and rowing and biking and things like that. And then from there, I went to Proven and had Joey for my one-on-one coaching.
Yeah. How did that relationship build? Did they reach out to you or do you reach out to them?
So I knew Nick Johnson from like we met in like 2018 when he was coaching at CrossFit OC3 and his now wife Taylor was on their games team. So I was on a games team that year with Kilo and we went and trained with them because they're like, I don't know, a couple hours, maybe less than 3 hours from us. And we both qualified for the game. So we went out to some guys like farm or property or whatever over there and did a bunch of like games type simulation workouts and trained at OC3 for a weekend or two. And that's kind of how me and him first met. and we ended up training with them like kind of on and off. And like 1 year for Rogue, Luke Schaefer, who does Kilo Trained, was on a team with Taylor and Andrea, and I can't remember who the other male was, but they competed together at Rogue. So then it was like a Kilo Trained with OC3 together again, and I worked out with them again. And so I'd known Nick for quite a while, and he runs Proven, and called me and just wanted to have a conversation about like they were kind of looking for some more athletes. Want to know if I'd be interested in it, and yeah, I was ready to get on board.
Is that considered like is that considered poaching?
I don't know. I mean,
It's weird because I've been thinking about it a lot the last 24 hours, and I'm like, on one hand, there shouldn't be any problem with like, if I don't know, just pick the camp. Like if Brute had a coach and they were admiring you from afar, and they're like, "Fuck, I think I can help this guy. I think I can help this guy. I think I can help this guy," and you're with Proven, it seems like uh, yeah, like, fuck, why wouldn't you want them to reach out, right? Or if Mayhem or someone wanted to reach out to you and be like, "Hey, we think you'd really do well." And then on the other hand, I could see how it could be considered poaching, but it's like, as the athlete, if someone's interested in you, you would want them to reach out even if you're already at a camp, right? I don't know. I've been like, kind of like, I think I'm on the side of there's no such thing as poaching. Or let's say some agent was like, "Hey, whatever your agent's paying you," or let's say you have an agent, right? And then I find a fucking shovel company. I'm like, "Hey, dude, I got a shovel company to give you fucking $100,000 to carry their shovel to all the events." Uh, wouldn't you want me to call you?
yeah, I think competition is king. I think that would be my base philosophy on it. And I think should be that way with pretty much everything. And for my situation with Kilo Trained, I was just doing like kind of their template track. So I think it'd be a little bit different if I had like a one-on-one coach with them, or they did something like that. Um, but they weren't really, I guess, looking to do that. And I already had a relationship with a lot of people at Proven, so it didn't feel. I think it'd be different if somebody goes from like Brute to Proven and Proven to Brute, or Mayhem to any of these other camps or whatever. Some of these bigger camps that are really competing with each other and have one-on-one coaches. I think it'd be a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think if you have an athlete who has a one-on-one coach and he's able to be poached, there's a problem there in the first place. Like I would never leave Joey. Doesn't matter who wanted to come train me.
Yeah. So you do think that I'm trying to understand your position on it, because on one hand, you're like, competition is king, but going from one camp to another, if like if Training Think Tank sent an email out to all the Proven athletes and was like, "Hey, we'd like you to come try out our camp," that would be weird.
Yeah, it might be a little bit weird. I remember, I don't know if they still do it, but like before I was with Proven, I would get an email every year, or not an email, a DM from Mayhem. I think they sent it to everybody who qualifies for the games who wasn't part of the big camp, like inviting them to join Mayhem compete.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
I mean, yeah, that seems smart, doesn't it?
mm, yeah, I mean they get a lot of they have a lot of volume in terms of athletes at Mayhem. They have like, if you look at probably all the divisions between like individual team, age group, masters, Mayhem probably has the most volume there. And that's maybe part of the reason why is because they shoot their shot and send out a lot of invites. I don't think I've gotten one since I joined Proven, so they maybe they're not doing that anymore, or they just stay away from people who they know are in camps. Um, I remember showing that to Kilo Train at the time, like, oh, those fuckers, they're trying to steal you, because it would have just been going from like one template to another template, basically.
Or, dude, maybe it's not that you're with Proven, but just you're an old dog. They don't want to, you know what I mean? They don't want to use dog. You know what I mean? You go to the pound and
Hey,
you're like, that dog's really nice, but he's 5 years old.
I'm not even in my prime yet, dude.
All right, all right.
I got 4 more years, 4 more seasons at least. So it's essentially right now. So I'm 28, but really I'm 29 because I'll be 29 come next July. So this is the my 29th year for the games or whatever. I'll be 29 at the games. So I've got 29, 30, 31, 32. I think you can still keep getting better at 32. Frazier was getting better at 32.
Who
Rick
was? Wait, who was?
Frazier.
Oh, okay.
He was his best at 32, and then he retired. So I don't know if he could have kept going longer after that. But I mean, like Voner, I think he was still getting better at 32. Um,
Mm.
Rick is about that age. I think 32 is a reasonable age. To like, okay, maybe that's your peak's probably around there, 31 to 33. And then after that, you're probably going to be, I feel like then it becomes every year like, okay, is this when they fall off? Is this when they fall off? I feel like we did that with Pat for 5 years. And every
That's
year,
a
like,
good
okay,
point.
he's still good. So I think I reasonably have at least 4 more years of being in my prime. And, maybe I'm just built different. I got 5 more years actually. And then after that, I'm still going to hang around and just kind of be a straggler. So you're going to have to deal with me for another few years after that.
Oh, like just like even if you're not competitive for the number one spot, just go there, still make it to the games, and just fuck people's shit up and win a couple of events.
Yeah.
uh, wow, wouldn't that be crazy just to go there with a whole different agenda? Hey, all I'm gonna do is talk shit, and make viral reels, and win a couple events.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But yeah, I'm gonna as long as I keep qualifying, I'm gonna keep competing.
Um, I asked Colton how long his longest wiener was at the athlete conference. I think it made him uncomfortable, but he said he wished more people asked about his wiener, so I took the opportunity. My wiener's huge, dude. I mean, he's little as fuck, but he is fucking long. Like he comes around the corner and like it takes like 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Like he's like,
Yeah.
I cannot believe how long he is.
He's probably getting to that age to where he's not really growing up anymore. He's growing out, and his snout is gonna keep growing too.
Yeah, he totally looks Armenian now.
His
He's full. He looks like he's part. He looks like I birthed him.
his dad's snout is not super. Alfie and Martha don't have really long snouts, but the rest of them do. His mom Millie has a pretty long snout, but like Mabel and Dobie, their snouts are crazy. So he didn't get the longest nose genes from them.
He is a digging machine.
Hmm.
He's a fuck machine. It's crazy. He has one favorite stuffed animal, and like literally, like we'll be in the living room. He'll leave the living room, go to the bedroom. It's this little tiger that's like a little bigger than him. He'll grab it and then bring it into the living room to be back with us, and then just sit in the middle of the room and just bite this thing on the back of the neck and just hump the shit out of it. Like no shame. You know what I mean? Just like, hey, watch what I'm doing.
The biting in the back of the neck thing is interesting because Otis used to do that. Alfie does that now, and Arthur does that. So I don't know. I've never seen other breeds do that, but every wiener dog male I've seen breeding, they do the bite the back of the neck thing.
Yeah, it's
The
crazy.
ladies, the back of their neck will just be soaking wet from their saliva, and then I'm like, okay, I know what you guys have been doing.
Yeah, he bites and, another thing he'll do, at first we thought it was because he was teething, but he'll just, like, find a blanket in the house somewhere and, like, drag it into the room. He always drags it into the room that we're in, and then he'll just bite it and then, like, watch TV or watch you, and he'll literally sit there for 40 minutes. He doesn't chew on it, he just bites it and holds it. It's he's so trippy.
That's funny. Yeah, none of ours do that. Alfie likes to chew on stuff, but he never just holds it there. That's funny.
And then we had our first, cat. Our neighbors have a bunch of cats that are in the yard, and we had our first, cat, poop eating incident,
Oh.
and he licked my face, and I quickly, like, soaped my mouth. I soaped the inside of my mouth, my tongue. It was disgusting. You don't have any cats in your hood, do you?
The neighbors have a cat. I see it on my doorbell camera at night. He always comes around. But he never comes around when the dogs are out, thankfully. Um, my dogs hate cats. They try and kill them. They hate anything, especially when all 5 of them are together. They're pretty brave. But yeah, I think like Alfie used to eat poop when he was a puppy when we first got him. Like the first time I got him, we took him outside. They dropped him off at like midnight, wherever the puppy transporter, and he was inside for a little bit. And I took him out to go to the bathroom, and he had to poop, and he like dropped a turd, turned around, was still pooping, and then tried to eat the turd that he just dropped. But
Oh my god. Oh my
he grew out of it. He doesn't do it anymore. So maybe he'll stop
oh.
eating cat poop eventually.
My wife's like, "What's wrong with him?" I'm like, "Every dog I've had eats cat poop."
Mm.
Like, I used to take my dogs to if there's sand anywhere, they just start digging in the sand looking for cat poop.
Mm.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I really wanna get another one. I really wanna get Hey, is do you know if my dog is a short hair or long hair? I thought you told me it was a long hair, and the kids are like, "No, he's half and half." And I'm like, "I don't think he is half and half." But his hair isn't very long.
Hmm. So his dad Alfie is a long hair. His mom Millie is a short hair, but Millie
Oh,
carries
okay, they were right. Okay.
what kind of so Millie carries the recessive long hair gene. So like half of her puppies will be long hair, half will be short hair. Arthur is a long hair, but for wiener dogs, it can take up to 3 years for their coats to fully grow in. So he's in this like kind of in between stage right now, but it'll keep growing, and he'll get like the big poofy chest, and he'll have like long hair coming off his tail in like another year or two.
I'm gonna cut it all off if he turns into long hair.
It's like a lion's mane. Once he matures, it comes in all the way.
And he's a yappy little fuck. And I got one of those things that you're supposed to push the button and it makes like a sonic sound that's supposed to bug them.
Yeah.
He didn't give a fuck.
That's wild. Ours never bark unless there's somebody comes in the driveway, but also we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So the only thing they have to bark at is like the pigs across the driveway, but they're kind of used to them now. And then if my dad's dogs come over, they'll bark at them. But other than
Yeah,
that, they
it's
don't.
whenever we're around other dogs. That's what I mean. Like if we take him
Oh, yeah.
out and he just comes unhinged when he sees other dogs. If I'm holding a leash, I just let it go. I'm like, all right, you want to see what's gonna happen?
Yeah, dude, they're brave. Yeah, I was driving around Salem with Alfie in the car one day, and he's in my lap. I was driving by these people's house, and they had dogs out front, and he just goes ballistic, like he's gonna go beat their ass. And they're like these bulldog mixes, and he's like 9 pounds.
He's also he's very alpha. Like if you don't constantly if you don't constantly kick his ass, um, he'll make it so like when he's sleeping, you can't reach over him and shit. Like I left town when I was gone at the games, I came back, he had taken over the house. I was like, "What the fuck, guys?" They're like, "Yeah, he just doesn't want like if he's sleeping, he doesn't want you fucking with him anymore." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You can't let this 9-pound thing," and like he shows his teeth and shit. It's like, no, 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 no.
That's
And now
funny.
now he's back to normal.
You know, puppies. It's funny, but we've had a lot of dogs where like they're puppies and they get really cranky when they're sleepy. Then they grow out of it. And dude, Alfie is the exact opposite. He's the wimpiest little boy you've ever seen in your entire life. The
Oh, really?
ladies just bully the shit out of him. And like when it's time to go to bed, and it's like we'll get off the couch, and I'll grab one of them and start taking him to the kennel. Alfie walks off the couch and starts walking over to the kennel. He's all like crouched down. He's walking like super slow, like so slow, like he's never even gonna make it all the way over there.
Yeah.
He's got his head down, and his tail tucked when he's like to come get ready for bed, and he does that all the time. He's always been like that. So he's the wimpiest little guy.
Yeah, if I walk in the room, anytime I walk in the room, my dog just rolls over on his back. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Guys, this is the way it should be. Like, what are you doing?" And if my kids walk in the room, he just runs at them full speed and tries to bite them on the neck too. Yeah, he just runs full speed. They love that shit, but I'm like,
Mm.
Colton, did you cross over 200 pounds at the games at all during the week? Did you weigh yourself?
I didn't weigh myself, but I don't think so. I'd be surprised if I got over 200.
You looked huge at the games. Are you in like I'm looking at you now and you look way less inflamed. After the games, do you lose weight?
Yeah, I think that like I was talking to Amy from Target Nutrition about this, and she's like, you'll carry like you may actually gain a couple pounds just from the inflammation in your body throughout the weekend. So that's definitely a thing. I also think it's just the Velite's clothing is super tight, and usually I wear
Oh,
like the Vindicate shorts and shirts that are kind of more loose and more comfortable to be in. So I think I just look like they're
you were
like
you, you were in a
grabbing.
medium, and so
Yeah.
you looked huge. Is it hard being that big? Like, is it like what? Do you ever wake up in the morning? You're like, fuck, I am getting huge. Like this is like laborious just walking to the bathroom.
I never feel like I'm huge, but I definitely wake up and I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
My God, wouldn't it be nice to weigh 170?
yeah, I definitely don't think my body is like I had to force feed pretty much all the time. I think like if I was just left to my own like comforts, I'd probably be a lot. I mean, I was the same height and 145 pounds in high school. So I had the same frame, just 50 pounds bigger right now. And I was pretty like back then I was investing and people were like, they thought I was built like a brick back then. So probably I should probably be like 130 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, your back and your lats were fucking massive at the games. When you got out of the pool event after day 1, I was like, "Holy shit, he is huge."
Yeah, I think probably next time I compete, I'll probably be a little bit smaller and leaner just because of all the endurance work that we're doing.
When did that start, the endurance work?
Right after the games,
Y
because we were talking to Joey at the games, and we're like, yeah, I just need to be like a triathlon athlete for the next 12 months. Because I feel like the CrossFit or everything was CrossFit, but the mixed modality events, I did really well on pretty much all of them. I think my worst one where you had mixed modalities was probably the snail rope climb event. And other than that, all the mixed modality events are really good for me. And I struggled obviously on the runs, the bike, which the bike I was cramping on the bike, but still that wasn't going to be a top 10 finish for me, even if I felt great. So it's like we're just running a ton of machines. The machine 7200 was a poor finish for me. So we're just hammering those all the time. Tons of intervals, a lot of just like, hey, this is gonna be boring, and we're gonna do this for an hour or however long, but that's what it takes. So we're gonna do that for I think probably a year, and all my strength is probably gonna be fine. We're still doing a lot of power work, not as in like powerlifting, but like power snatch, power clean. We're doing a ton of that. We're doing jerks. But like my ability to do well in mixed modality metcons, I don't think is going to get diminished a lot by doing a ton of endurance. So we're going to do this for at least a good cycle and then see how it goes.
These, what do they call them, monostructural or single modality training, will you do them in all time domains too? Like, will you run, 10Ks and then also sprints? It's just all the time domains?
Yeah, yeah, all of them. We do a lot
Mm.
of we've been doing like a lot of 400-meter cycles. The other day I had like rowing sprints into another machine and then just like on repeat for way longer than anybody wants to do that. But I think that's what it's going to take.
Hey, will that, diminish the, oh, it's funny, my wife just said, "Ask Colton if Arthur has half long hair and half short hair." Will any part of that make it so you don't enjoy training less? Do you have any concerns about that to make sure you enjoy your training?
No, honestly, I don't care if I enjoy my training or not. Um, and for me, it's like I have to, the way I think about it, like I don't necessarily compete because I enjoy it. I mean, I do like actually competing, but if I'm just trying to pursue something to where I can make a living and enjoy it, I'm probably just gonna go farm. I want to compete because I want to win. So if that means I have to be miserable in the gym for the next 12 months, I really don't care.
Yeah. Let me ask something just so fucking cheese dick. Is that sustainable?
For me, yeah. The other guys know, probably not. Like if you're somebody no, these other guys know. They think they need to be happy. They want like a work-life balance. They want their month-long vacation after every event. They don't have to be in shape multiple times a year to go and compete. That's why they're not doing crash. That's why they're not doing WFP. They want to just show up a couple times a year, rely on their talent, be able to take a month off and get back into shape very quickly after that. So no, these guys. I mean, it's insane that I'm even able to qualify for the games, compete with these guys. I mean, if I was a little bit taller and a little bit more talented, um, I'd be winning these games all the time. Like I don't even understand like how these guys allow me to be in the room with them. Like if you guys just like if you found some nuts and actually got the fucking work, like nobody would even know who I am.
Are you not? Did you play any other sports besides wrestle?
I was on the football team. I didn't play very much.
You had the Dave Castro. He was telling me about his football career again, like the one play he played. Um, what position did you play in football?
Linebacker.
And mostly you just sat on the bench.
Yeah, a special teams specialist.
No other sports.
When I was little, I played. I was a kid. I played baseball. But then I had my autoimmune thing. They didn't have a diagnosis for it at the time, but I pretty much lost most of my depth perception for a few years after that, and I just couldn't really play baseball anymore.
Oh,
I
that's
played. I
crazy.
also played basketball up until like 7th grade.
No shit.
Mm,
Were you any good at that?
no.
Did you ever shoot in the wrong hoop?
No, I never did that. But I made probably like 3 baskets all season.
That's amazing. Do you remember them? Like that's how few
uh,
you made? You're like, yeah, I made
yeah,
one from here. I made one from the free throw line.
yeah. I remember we were supposed to have like a maroon shirt underneath of our jersey, and I had a red one. Because forgot to tell my mom that I needed to get one.
So you had a different color jersey than the rest of the team.
Yeah, like the shirt that we wear underneath of them. Because
Oh.
they have like tank top jerseys, but they wanted us to wear a shirt underneath of it.
Hey, you mentioned the depth perception autoimmune thing. So I thought that was something that just came on a couple years ago. You had something going on even when you were a little kid.
Yeah, when I was in 6th grade, I had a bad flare up and I was in the hospital for like a week. But at that time, they didn't have a diagnosis for it. They're like, we don't know why this happened. Good luck. And then right before Waterpalooza in 20, I think it was 22, or maybe 23, whenever it happened again. And then they had a diagnosis for it. Took like a test from my spinal fluid or something like that, and we're able to actually put a diagnosis to it. But yeah, that was the second time that I had like a bad flare up where I had to go to the hospital.
Do they think it's do you think it's accurate or is it just a placeholder? Do you think that they really know what's going on or no?
I think they know what to call it, but they don't know like what triggers it, and then honestly, they don't know how to make it not happen again. Like they were trying to get me to go on these treatment plans where it would be like you can come in every month and we'll put a catheter in your neck, and every month you can come in and do this plasma transfusion thing. Or we have another option where you can do it twice a year, and it's like 100 to 200K a year to get it done, and it might help it not happen again as often. I was like, okay, yeah, I think I'll just take my fucking chances because
It,
like the treatment for it is super simple and it's actually super cheap. You just take prednisone. They give you prednisone. So I did 1 gram of prednisone through an IV for 3 days, and then I did an oral treatment for 12 weeks after that, going from 60 milligrams a day orally down to 10 and then 0. And that pretty much takes care of it until your next flare up.
is that plasma treatment? Is that with your own blood? Like they pull your blood out ahead of time or is it someone else's blood?
I think it's mine. They take it out, do something
Okay.
with it.
Spin it around.
Yeah. Mm.
When it happened in the 6th grade, was that scary? Were you scared?
No, I missed like a month of school. So that was kind of neat because we were going to the doctors and like they didn't know anything about it. So I just had like these bad migraines and eye pain for a long time. And they didn't know how to fix it or anything. And then eventually went to the University of Iowa hospitals, and that's where I got treated with the prednisone, and it went away. And they're like, yeah, we don't know what caused it or if it'll come back, but you're fine now. So then, yeah, it didn't happen again for like another 12 years.
Hey, and when it happened again, did you tell them, hey, last time they fixed it with this?
Yeah,
Or did they come up with that?
I think by then they kind of knew the standard treatment protocol, and they also wanted to give me some other stuff that supposed to reduce the chances of it happening again. Dude, hospitals are so fucked. They're scam artists. So basically, they're like, there's this treatment. I don't know how much it costs, and I don't know how much it's going to help, but we think you should do it. And I'm like, you don't know how much it's going to cost, and you don't know how much it's going to help. Like maybe it'll help. Like maybe it takes your chances from that happens again in a year to happens again in 3 years. Like we don't know. I'm like, you don't know how much it's going to cost either. And like, no, not really. It'll be tens of thousands of dollars, but I don't know what it'll be. And but the thing is, like, obviously they fucking know because I mean, after I get it, a week later they're gonna send me a bill, right? It's
Yeah.
just it's just this bottle, this really expensive bottle they get put into you through an IV. Um, but yeah, dude, there's such fucking scam artists because you just treat it with prednisone and it's fine. Prednisone's like the cheapest drug there is.
About 2 months ago, my son's jaw started hurting him. So we take him to the dentist, and they're like, "Hey, all his teeth are perfect. His X-rays are perfect. Everything's fine." And then about a week ago, it reached a head. Right? He's like, "Man, my fucking like." He's crying. Like he's like, my back teeth hurt, my front teeth hurt, and he goes and my teeth feel like that. There's too many teeth in my mouth. Like it just feels like my mouth isn't the right size for my teeth, and I'm not comfortable closing my jaw. He said I can't chew my food. He's like, I'm smashing all my food with my tongue. So we make an appointment with an orthodontist, and we go in the orthodontist, and it's the nicest, cleanest place you've ever fucking seen, but it feels like a car dealership. So the first thing we do is we go in this room, and there's a lady in there, and the first thing she does is she's saying, "Hey," she starts talking to us about that he hasn't even been checked yet, and they start telling us about palate expansions. It's something that you put in your mouth that pulls your mouth apart and separates your palate and the top of your mouth because I guess it doesn't seal until you're like 11 or 12 years old, so you can still open the jaw and make it bigger. They haven't even looked at anything yet. We haven't even told them what's wrong, and I'm like, wow, this is fucking really weird. And the doctor comes in, and they do a bunch of more X-rays on him and scans. And the doctor comes in and goes through everything and goes, "Man, his teeth are fucking perfect. I don't see what it is. I recommend a palate expansion." And I'm like, "Wait a second. You don't know what it? You can't diagnose it, but you recommend a palate expansion?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then it's the only thing that this guy does. He's an orthodontist, but he just does palate expansions. They put these metal things on your teeth with a spring in the middle, and you turn it, and it just pushes out your jaw. And I go, "What's the drawbacks of doing that?" And he goes, "None." And I'm like, "Okay." Well, it ends up being a 3-year ordeal because it's 1 year with the palate expansion that opens up your mouth, and then you have to put braces on afterwards for 2 years to close up the teeth that it moves that you didn't wanna move. And when you leave, I did kind of appreciate this. When you leave, she says the whole process is like $6,000, which I thought was crazy cheap for 3 years of fucking dental work. I was
Yeah.
expecting $60,000. Anyway,
Mhm.
so I take him to another orthodontist, and she says the exact same thing, but she never mentions the palate expansion. She's like, "Hey," we sat through another, consultation for an hour. She's like, they went through every single fucking tooth. They looked at them. They're like, "Everything's fine. I have no fucking idea what it is. The only thing I can think of is that you have a nerve that runs in the bottom of your jaw along the whole bottom and around the front, and somehow there's some molars coming in that are pushing through the bone that are irritating him and sending signals to his brain that something's wrong." Don't, Sevi. I'll send you and your wife something different. Okay, please do. Because there's nothing worse than seeing your kid in pain. But
So
but they have no idea what it is. But the first guy was just like, "Hey, let's just try the palate expansion." I'm like, "You want me to go on a 3-year fucking journey without? It's just a shot in the dark."
yeah,
And all the
and
kids he hangs out with have all had palate expansions, and now I know why, because I live in a fucking small town, and this is the main orthodontist, and he
yeah.
just that's his thing. He just does palate expansions. But it really felt like a car dealership when you went in there. Like, the desk was super nice, and they had all the
Mhm.
examples of the palate expanders out, and you get to touch them, and I'm just like, "Oh, man." And my kid loved it. My kid's like, "I'm
Yeah.
getting one of those." I'm like, "Hold on a second. Hold on. Please do, Miss Burns, please send me. I'm desperate. I don't want him to be in pain anymore."
So that's kind of where they're at now. Is they think something with the
They have
nerves
no
is causing is their best guess.
Yeah, just this second lady. I mean, no one has it. So now we made an appointment for another orthodontist over the hill, which is like,
Mhm.
when I say over, like, that's like, that'll be like, that's like where we're going to the big city. You know, what did you say? You went to University of Iowa? Yeah, like we're gonna go to
Mhm.
Stanford now or something. You know what I mean? Got to drive like 40 minutes and like see a city
Mhm.
doctor.
Yeah.
But who the fuck knows? But yeah, and you know, now we're older and we know, especially since we just went through COVID, right? That they don't know shit.
Mhm.
Um, but when you're a kid, do you remember like believing everything that they said? Like you just think they know. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're like, ask Grok, and Grok's like, oh, we
Yeah.
see extra teeth back there. And then I asked the dentist, and the dentist is like, there's no extra teeth back there. Matter of fact, he doesn't even have his wisdom teeth, even showing yet in the gum line. He might not even, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Mm.
but I don't even like them listening to Grok because Grok will make up all sorts of bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid and you're like, the smartest person to you is your teacher. Like, oh, the teacher said it, it's gotta be true.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I remember going to college and seeing my classmates and the people who I went to school with who went into teaching. I'm like, oh fuck, those are the teachers.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't know if it's just it's hard for me to say whether it's a money grab or like you just know what you know.
Mhm.
Um, kids come to dental work all the time, and they have hardly lost any baby teeth. They get braces like 3 different times now. Yeah, I don't want my kids having braces. I remember I have an overbite, and as a kid, I remember going to the dentist, and I went through like 4 retainers, and I asked the doctor, I'm like, I was a little kid, I'm like, "Hey, if I never do this, will my overbite become so bad that my bottom teeth dig into the roof of my mouth?" And he said, "Oh, yeah, 100% that's gonna happen to you." And now as an adult, I'm like, "I've never heard of that happening to anyone, and my teeth aren't even close to that."
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and I don't have any cavities or none of that shit. It's like,
Yeah, I remember
it's
when
a
I went to get my wisdom I got my wisdom teeth taken out, like, before they came in because 'cause they're like, "Yeah, this is good 'cause, if you wait till it starts causing problems, then it might be a while till we can get you in. You're gonna have to deal with the pain and the issues with it for a while." It's like, "We'll just kinda take a look and see if we think it's gonna cause problems, and we'll take him out if we do," and the dentist is back there. I remember he's there, like, 5 seconds, he goes, "Yep, let's take him out." Now looking back at him, like, he's gonna take him out no matter what. Like, that's how he
yeah.
gets.
Yeah, I never
Mm,
had my wisdom teeth taken out. I just remember
mm,
in college, I think they came in or some shit.
mm.
I can't even bring my son to a cleaning as dentist without having to sit through a timeshare pitch for braces. And the orthodontist and the dentist are in cahoots. It's despicable. Yeah, uh, they only know what they know. They just think that like it's like all they can do, so they do it. You ever like God, I shouldn't throw my wife under the bus like this, but you know, like once, like she did this one Christmas. I can't even fucking believe it. She put nails in the fireplace mantle to hold up the kids' stockings,
Mhm,
but it's like all she knew.
mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm like, "Hey, babe, now we're gonna have holes in the fireplace mantle for the rest of the year." But you only know what you know, right? So they only have a hammer and a nail, and they're just like,
Mhm. Yeah, dude, I bought a new farm truck, um, like, a few weeks ago, and, like, the worst thing is sitting through the finance office and having to listen to them talk to you about all the extended warranties, and you just keep saying no, and it's like, I just wanna tell them, like, "Hey, I'm not gonna say yes," but then they still. I'm like, "Hey, I promise I'm not gonna say yes to any of these warranties," when they still go through the whole thing. You're there for 45 minutes, you just keep saying no, and, like, the whole time you're there, they're trying to find things to relate to, like, they're buttering you up, and it's just, like, so obvious what they're trying to do, and, like, there's one they also do this thing where they kinda try to make it sound like you're broke. Like, "Oh, is it because
"Oh, like, fuck with
the
your ego?"
payment?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, "No, like, the payment can be, 10 grand a month. I can pay for it right now. Like, I can just pay for the car." Because then they do the thing where at, like, a 36-month, finance on it, and like, "Well, would you be open to looking at 48 months?" I'm like, "No, because 'cause you're gonna show me a lower monthly rate, and then now you're gonna ask me if I'm willing to put any of these add-ons on to get back to the original payment, because then it's kinda the same." Like, "No, like, I just don't want it," but, like, you have to sit through it. They will not, like, just
Hey,
let you say no.
one time I went into a Toyota dealership, and, Greg wanted a new 4Runner. And he's like, we pull up to the Toyota dealership, and he's like, "Hey, go get here's my credit card. Go get the guy and just pay for this truck and let's leave." So I go. And the guy's like, "Well, no, yeah, you can't do that. You have to sit down through this, this, and this." And
Mhm.
Greg would pay whatever. Like if like Greg's not going to try to scam the guy. If the guy wants to add 5% to it to make his commission, like he could have just done anything.
Mhm.
So the guy wouldn't do it. The guy wouldn't do it. We're there for like 10 minutes. And then the guy comes out and Greg's like, "Hey, I just want this truck. Here's my credit card. Give me the keys and then just get with my accountant and figure it all out." And the guy's like, "No." And Greg's like, "All right, fuck you." So we just went to another dealership and then he ended up buying a Range Rover. But I just remember thinking, oh, that guy just fucked himself out of the easiest 5 grand he could have ever fucking made. Like he didn't even,
Mm.
or they say dumb shit to him like, "Hey, you can't put the whole car on your credit card."
Yeah,
And I'm
it's
just like,
so
wow, like you're fucking yourself right now. And the guy just lost
mm,
a sale. And all he wanted to do was just go in and buy a Forerunner the same way like me and you would go in and buy a pair of pants.
mm.
It was so crazy.
It's crazy you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like I was buying it's a 2012 Toyota Tundra, and they asked me if I want all these like paint protections and all that stuff. Like no, like it's a farm truck. Like I don't give a fuck. Just let me buy the truck. I've been
What is a
listening to this.
farm truck?
Just something I use at the farm for whatever. If I gotta go to the hardware store.
But what is that? Like a F-150 or like what do you buy for a farm truck? Is it used?
Yeah, yeah. I was looking for a used F-150 for a few months, and I couldn't find one with the motor in it that I wanted and at a good price. I ended up finding this Toyota Tundra. So I bought that. But usually F-150s or a Chevy 1500 is what you see a lot of around here. My dad always makes fun of me because I have all Toyotas now, basically.
Well, do you remember what you were going to say? You were going to say something. I cut you off about.
Oh, I've been listening to this guy on YouTube that he just calls dealerships and negotiates. He negotiates car deals for a living. So he just like people will come to him and like, hey, I want this exact car. So he'll go find like he's like, okay, 30 dealerships in this area have it. He calls all of them, basically shops the price, tries to get a good deal, and just like the insane shit that dealers do is so entertaining. I listen to that. I listen to that podcast all the time now, or whatever show.
When I graduated from high school, my mom bought me a Toyota pickup truck, and I went and got like all these there wasn't internet then, and I got all these magazines on how to buy a truck,
Mhm.
and every time the guy would tell me the price, I would just open up the Consumer Reports, and he says, "No, I shouldn't pay over 2.5% over the price that's in here." And we went back and forth for like 2 hours, and then finally he got tired of me, and he did sell me the truck just for 2.5% over. I think it was a Toyota extra cab, 6-cylinder, air conditioning, all the shit, and I
Yeah.
got it for like $14,900 brand new. And the guy, and my mom's like, "Wow, that was crazy. I don't think that guy likes you very much." Because I just kept going, "No, it says right here." I just kept pointing to the magazine.
Yeah.
"No, it says right here."
Yeah. Yeah, he calls them and they're always like, "Well, we don't negotiate prices over the phone. You have to come into the dealership." And he's like, "You can't just talk to your manager and give me a price right now," because he knows like once you get into the dealership, you're much more likely to settle for a shitty price, and you also can't shop the price and basically use competition to your advantage. The guy's name is Tommy. His company's called Delivered. Somebody in the comments, Will was asking. But yeah, he does that, and it's super entertaining to listen to him just like make these dealerships sound so ridiculous. I went and bought mine. I think the list price was like 15,000. I wanted to get some money off it, and we were going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like, dude, like take $600 off this and call it a day. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
You
The
said
guy,
that to him?
we were down to like I'm like, hey, $100 more is what I want off this truck, and so he's going back over to like his manager's office or whatever, which is like 2 desks down, whatever. And then eventually he comes back. He's like, okay. He said he's gonna arm wrestle you for the extra $100 off. I'm like, okay, we'll arm wrestle then. And he was like getting ready, like he was actually gonna arm wrestle me. And then he didn't. He said, okay, I'll give you the other $100. But they were fighting tooth and nail to not give me the extra $100.
Hey, dude, if that that you missed a great real opportunity. You should have pulled your phone out and been like, "Hey, let's do this." That would have been amazing.
Yeah, dude.
I don't enjoy doing that. I recently about 2 years ago, the timing chain went out on my van, and they said it was going to cost $7,000 to fix that and something else.
Mm.
So I go in there and I said, I go in there and the guy tells me that. And I'm like, okay, hey, listen, do you have any other Siennas on the lot, brand new? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, how much? And he said, 60,000 fully loaded for the best Sienna. I said, okay, cool. I'll take it. I'll be back in a few hours and tell me how much you'll give me for my van for the trade-in. I came in 7 hours later and they didn't have a price for me. So I just said, fuck it, never mind. And I just paid the $7,000 and had them do all the repairs on my van. Like, fuck it. Like, fuck it. The guy was bummed. He called me like every week for the next 2 months trying to sell me a van. I'm like, nah, dude, that window closed.
Yeah, when I bought this truck, they couldn't find the title. Like, oh, I think it's at this other store. Then they're like, oh, I think it's upstairs. And so I left. I left and like, you guys can bring it to my house when you find it. I'm like 90 minutes away from this dealership. And they were gonna do it, but then I ended up having to drive back through that area like the week later to make out to come pick it up then. And then they had it ready to go and ready for me to sign and all that. But I was like, how do you guys not know where the fucking title is? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. I heard this story the other day that Elon went on his website to try to buy a Tesla, and it was 70 clicks to get through before you bought the Tesla. And he told his team, hey, it needs to be 10 clicks. Like, you got to get, and they did. They got it down, and it's like so smart. That was the thing that Chris Cooper was saying about becoming an affiliate. He's like, hey, man, like that was his feedback because he became an affiliate again. And he's like, hey, way too many clicks. Like, hey, like when I'm ready to put my credit card in, like you need to have that fucking box ready. And like it needs to get done.
Yeah, that makes sense. And did you know that they can't even sell Teslas in Texas because of their dealership franchise laws? They had to sell it like out of state and then drive it back in. And that's where they're the biggest manufacturer in the United States for cars is Tesla in Texas too.
Basically showing that it's the mafia, it's the cartel.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's fucking nuts. That reminds me of I think there was something like that in California for a while, and that's why all the Tesla dealerships were in malls. Like they couldn't have a dealership, but they could have they found a workaround by having a store in a mall, and then you would go to the mall and there'd be just like right next to like fucking Foot Locker, there'd be a Tesla store and there'd be like 3 Teslas in there. Yeah, there was something crazy like that in California too. God, that shit is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of industries are like that. I don't know what's going on with the meat industry, but I heard that there's some some Brazilian brothers who basically own the fucking U.S. meat industry too, like just how it can be sold and where it can be sold.
Yeah, so it's worse with chicken, not quite as bad with pork, and not quite as bad with beef. But basically, there's less than a handful of meat processors that own basically the entire market. 80+% of the meat goes through them
in the U.S.
And yeah, so basically, if they don't want to buy from you, you're not going to sell it, and it eliminates like the free market for selling your produce. And so you can't shop around for competitive prices. A lot of times now it's like there's only one meat plant within like a reasonable distance from you that you can sell to, so you have to go to them. And they pretty much own the whole chicken industry. It's now gotten that way with pork because they figured out how to I guess they raise pork now the way they used to raise chickens. And with cattle it's more difficult because you can't put them in small barns, and the life cycle for cattle industry is a lot longer just because it takes longer to grow a cow than it does to grow a chicken. But it's getting that way with beef as well. So I mean, like when my dad was a kid and my grandpa farmed, like you could sell, they had a lot more options to sell in the open market, and you could shop around and get better prices. But now it's like you have one buyer. That's what you got, unless you go to sell direct to consumer. But then the issue with that is you have to go through a USDA certified facility that isn't one of the big manufacturers. You have to find like a local mom and pop shop that's USDA certified, which is going to be like for me, it's hours away to get to one in Iowa. And then you have to store it with some USDA like certificate or requirements. So you have to have like a timestamp of like your temps on your freezers, and things like that to like prove that like your meat didn't thaw out or whatever, just retarded shit. It just basically puts a lot of tape between you and selling direct to consumer.
Yes, I remember seeing this story of a guy who wanted to make and sell beef jerky, and on the level that he wanted to sell it, which wasn't very big, one of the items he had to buy cost $10,000. Like it was some special thermometer. And I was just like, holy shit, like they really do fuck you every step of the way.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like the dog treat thing. Like there's no, so like if I make a dog treat, um, or even let's say that I go to a manufacturer and say, hey, just give me one of your basic formulas, and they've got it, 20 other brands are selling the same exact treat. I say, I'm going to sell that too. I have to, me along with all those 20 other brands, every state that we want to sell it to, aside maybe there might be one or two that don't have this requirement. You have to pay a licensing fee every year for every product. So even if 20 other people are making this exact same formula, I have to pay a licensing fee, and so do they to so they can review it and be sure that it's safe. And then if I pay that, right now in August, it expires in January. So come December, I have to do it again for the next year so they can make sure that the same treat that 20 other people are selling and that I just sold for the last year is still safe to produce. And it costs
So,
about 15 grand a year if you want to do that in every state.
hey, that reminds me of the OnlyFans girl story I heard. You go on OnlyFans and you put out a post and you say, "Hey, I want to get my nails done today. I'll make a video of me getting my nails done for you that costs 200 and it costs only $200." And then the guy pays for it and he thinks it's only for him, but then she gives it to fucking 30 guys and makes 6 grand. It's kind of like that. Yeah. It's like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Mr. Gabe, good morning. I can buy a cow in New Jersey, but it has to be harvested in Virginia and then shipped back to New Jersey.
Mhm.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then you're actually not even buying, like technically, because this is a loophole. You're not even buying the cow, or you're not even buying the meat. You're actually buying the cow. So once you own the cow, then you can have the meat. So you're not even. It's like you're buying it for the meat, right? But you can't. They can't sell you the meat. They can sell you half a cow. So you have one half ownership in this cow that then gets butchered, and then you can take your meat.
I've always thought that if someone in my area delivered eggs to my house, I would pay like a fucking premium price. Like if there was some dude in my town, I don't know what the legality of it is, but we go through so many eggs with 3 boys in the house. And I was just thinking, yeah, if someone just delivered like, um, you know, 3 dozen eggs once a week to my house, I would pay $50 for that.
Mm.
It's just on the doorstep. And I was actually just like briefly just fantasizing like, what would it take to have like 500 chickens in my yard and just collect eggs? You know what I mean? And
Mm.
just start that business. An egg dealer is so nice. Yeah, are there egg dealers places? Does anyone do that? Have you ever heard of that? Anyone who just delivers eggs?
Not delivers them, no. Mm-mm.
Um, hey, Colton, you're the man. Hey, Sevan, my son wants to challenge your boys to max ab mat sit-ups in 30 minutes.
That's a lot of fucking sit-ups.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah, I could ask him that. We don't do sit-ups. They mostly do like what I don't know if they do any, besides toes to bar. I'm trying to think if they do anything. I'm trying. That'd probably kill my boys, but yeah, I'd definitely make them do it. They would go to the death. $50 break even price with grocery store. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Well, I don't know how much are a dozen eggs? Dozen eggs like from like a place that's supposed to be good is like my neighborhood. It's like $10 for a dozen eggs.
My
And
dad
if you get the
has
shitty ones, it's like $2.49 a dozen.
my dad has chickens at the farm that he got for fun. He has like 80 chickens now. They'll lay eggs. And Allie brings in like 10 to 15 dozen in a CrossFit Teo, and then his girlfriend brings them into where she works, and he sells them for, I think, $3 a dozen.
Oh shit, that's cheap.
There's a lot of people around here that do that though, and they're all about like $3.
And do they sell fast?
Hmm.
Are they
Yeah,
the cool? Go ahead.
he gets like 60 to 80 eggs a day, and usually he can sell all of them. And then the ones he doesn't sell, he gives to the WIC program,
What's that?
women and infant children that need food.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, $10. Well, you can get if you want to get them like in the white styrofoam container that says like some big brand name on it. It's like $2.49. But if you want it in the brown cardboard box with like it shows a chicken happy in a field somewhere, and it says like, you know what I mean? And it says like grain fed, organic, happy, free chicken shit, like that stuff, then it's $10 a dozen. I just grab the most expensive one.
There's a lot of fuckery that goes on with the egg industry too. Like the wording is very loose.
Yeah.
The definitions are very broad for what is like pasture raised or cage free.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
it says
crazy.
cage free and it shows them like frolicking like $60 for 60 eggs for $9 at my local Costco. Hey, you know what's weird? You know what's weird about the wiener dog is everywhere we go, like you can't go out with him without fucking like you got to be prepared like you're going to have a lot of human interaction.
Yeah, do people love wiener dogs?
I would have never looked twice at a wiener dog. I still don't look at other people's wiener dogs. But fuck, if we go out with them and they want to show you their wiener
Yeah.
dogs on their phone, and it's like, and my kids and my wife eat that shit up. They're fucking. One of my kids is all my kids are obsessed with the dog. It's still like Christmas every morning at my house. Like everyone wants to play with him first thing in the morning. And the fucker has a crazy schedule he's on. It's basically get up at 9 a.m., go bonkers until like 1 p.m., and then he sleeps until 6. Like literally just out for 5 hours every day, just out. And then gets up at 6 and goes bonkers again.
Yeah, the wiener dogs are kind of trendy right now.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, they became one of the most popular breeds within the last like decade or so. I feel like when I first started getting them, I got my first one in 2022, Otis. I feel like that was kind of the beginning of like people were really starting to like the breed was making a resurgence. And now I don't know, just me, but I see them all the time on like Instagram, like just people posting silly videos of their wiener dog, and it's got like 500,000 likes, and it just goes super viral.
The other crazy thing is when you I don't think of our dog as even though he's small, like you said, he's probably only 9 pounds. He's to me, he seems bigger than our Chihuahua that was like 14 pounds.
Mhm.
But the other thing is when you see a real wiener dog, they're
Yeah.
fucking they look like dinosaurs. Like we
Yeah,
walked by
dude.
one the other day and I was like, holy shit, that's a big. I mean, he's like a
Mhm.
15-pound dog. He's like twice as big.
Yeah, like the standard wiener dog is be like 30, 40 pounds. They
Oh,
can
they're
get up
that
there,
big.
and
Okay.
yeah, the ones that are bred to hunt actual badgers. So our minis are more like rabbit hunters. Then that, yeah, he'll probably mature around like 12 pounds, if I had to guess. Maybe 13 if he gets fluffy. But yeah, dude,
Uh,
we had somebody bring one of their pups in that we sold them. They came from Mabel and Otis, who were both about 12, 13 pounds, and they brought him, and he was like 30 pounds, and he was like a year old.
oh wow.
He just, yeah, I don't know, he got giant. His name was Moose, but yeah, it
Hey,
was insane.
I only gave him one parvo shot.
Okay, you're probably fine.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. He's fine. Yeah, my wife's like, "Are you gonna give him a second one?" I'm like, "I don't know." It's that I didn't like giving him the first one. I just don't want to inject something into him. He seemed fine though. It didn't seem to bug him.
Yeah, that's good.
Do any wieners hunt beaver? That's a great question.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
healthy ones.
Yeah.
I do really want to get another one, and so my boys can see them breed and have the whole thing. And I think it would just be safer in the yard with two. Like if there's a, like if he
Oh,
because
yeah.
we have cats in our yard and birds and all sorts of shit. And I just figure if we have two, they can kind of like if I was a bird, I would think twice about going after two than one.
Yeah, he probably would be a little safer. Yeah, I can help you find a female. I'll get you a good one at a reasonable price, and if we can find one where the registrations line up. They can get them registered too, which I don't. Some people care about, some people don't.
I only care about it because I want to give you some puppies, and I know you don't want any fucking ghetto dogs in your.
My dogs have like 3 different registrations. So I have like AKC, ACA, and ICA registrations for my dogs just because of the loopholes and shit I had to go through.
Like each of them have all three.
Some of them have 2, some of them have 1. A mixture of those 3 different registrations.
Do yours dig?
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, in their so in their pen, there's was a mole that was in there.
Oh, that's fucked. That poor guy.
Yeah, so they've killed a couple moles, but like the tunnels where the mole dug, they dug up the entire tunnel all throughout the yard. So if like you were to take like a sky view, it'd probably just look like these just a bunch of patterns of the holes that they've dug out there. So I fill them in once in a while. I'll just buy dirt and fill them in, and then kind of try and smooth them out, and then they dig. Millie is the only one that does this, but she digs around the perimeter of the fence to try and get out. And they'll dig. She can dig pretty deep. She's a good digger. And just digs like these massive holes and tries to get out and then go run into the woods.
Yeah. There's my lawn is fucked. It was already fucked from the gophers. Now it's like it's really fucked.
Has he caught any animals yet?
No, but he'll just stand under like if a bird flies into a tree, he'll stand under the tree and bark, and when the bird flies away, he just keeps barking. Last night he stared at a tree for 20 minutes and barked. Haley's like, "What's he doing?" I'm like, "I've fucking no idea. He's fucking bonkers." And she goes, "Boy, this dog's a handful." And I was like, "Hey, he's not even 15 years old yet. You know what I mean? Like he's not when he's 2. I'm like, "Hey, dude, when he's 2, he's gonna fucking be crazy. He's gonna be like a 15-year-old boy in the house, just fucking shit up."
Yeah, his mom Millie is the hunter of the group. She's caught a lot of birds actually. She's probably caught like 4, maybe 5 birds. And she's killed like moles. What else? They've caught sometimes they kill toads. But Millie's actually just caught birds. Like they'll come. We have like a dog bowl for when they're outside, and if a bird comes and tries to eat some dog food, sometimes she snuck up on him and caught him. And we'll come out there just like a dead bird laying next to their doghouse.
Oh, that's crazy. What kind of birds?
Just
Like
like
magpies?
sparrows.
Oh. Oh, yeah, those fucking guys were probably flying too low anyway, getting insects and shit.
Yeah.
Dobermans and Weimaraners have the same type of dog, just the size. Okay. You say so. Hey, what are your overall thoughts about the games? I was really surprised Wednesday after the pool event what a great mood you were in. Like you were laughing and joking around, and it had been a long day, and I was pretty impressed. I was like, oh, because you're very serious throughout the day. Or maybe focused is a better word than serious. It's not like your brow is furrowed, but you're very focused. And then at the end of Wednesday, you were pretty jovial.
Yeah, I think this year I tried to have a more relaxed mindset overall, just to conserve like my emotional energy. Because I know 20 events, if you're like super stressed out and white knuckling it the whole time, you're gonna be pretty exhausted. After you get through the first 3 days of competition, you still got 2 more to go. So I was really trying to, I guess, be in a mindset to where like you care a lot, but you're relaxed about it. And also, I think at that point, like we're 7 events through, it's like the initial wave of nerves is a little bit gone, and you know you have a rest day coming up, so it's a little bit of just a natural reprieve there. You know that you don't have to compete again for another 2 days. So I think probably a combination of those 2 things, but I am trying to just be more relaxed mentally when I compete because um, I think it takes too much out of me, the emotional toll side of things, and I don't want to be leaving points on the table because I'm exhausted from stressing out.
Do you sense if you sense the stress coming, you just nip it in the bud, in the butt?
Um, I guess it's kind of weird. I try to. I guess there's a lot of self talk with it, but it also takes like a long time. I feel like because I've been trying to do this for a few years now, and I feel like it's only recently been starting to click to where I'm more into the mindset that I've been trying to be in. So it just feels like I have better tools to handle the stress and not let it get to me as much. So like when it's weird because like it's kind of like when you're trying to fall asleep. Like the harder you try to fall asleep, the harder it is to actually fall asleep.
Yeah.
So like I'll recognize whatever thoughts or emotions that I'm having. Then I'll just kind of be like, okay, that's there, but I'm just gonna move on. And yeah, I just try not to be like super in control of it. Like I try and control the things that I can control, and whatever I can't, try and release it. But I mean, it's one thing to kind of walk through that mentally and know that's the mindset you want to have. Another thing to actually practice it.
Mhm.
So I think it just kind of getting to the point now to where I'm actually able to practice it.
Yeah, it's like, one of my sons will be like, "Hey, am I gonna throw up?" And I'll be like, "I don't know," but and he goes, "Well, I'm worried I'm gonna throw up." And I'll be like, "Hey, is the worrying about throwing up helping the situation? Why not just let it go?" And it's funny because he can intellectualize it, but
Mhm.
you're right, putting it into practice is a whole different thing. I said, "Now you're gonna throw up and you're worried about throwing up. Why not just let go of worrying about throwing up?"
Yeah, it's just like when their instructor teaches them a jujitsu technique. They know it mentally and they know what to do, but it doesn't mean that now they can execute it. It takes
Yeah.
repetition and time to go from knowing what to do and being able to do it. And I guess so. I used to throw up a lot. I still kind of do when I compete. But now I used to be like, oh fuck, I'm about to puke. Like this is not good. But now I'm kind of like, it usually happens most often when I'm brushing my teeth. After I've had my breakfast, I'm getting ready to leave the hotel. I start brushing my teeth. I feel fine before that. And then as soon as I start brushing, I feel like I'm gonna throw up right away. But now, like mentally, what I'm saying is, like I'm brushing my teeth. I feel the nausea. Like, oh, I'm about to throw up. Okay, and I just kind of keep doing what I'm doing. And like I reckon,
You don't spin a story up around it. You just let it
mm,
be that you might throw up.
yeah, I'm like okay, I might throw up. I'd rather I don't, but if I throw up, I throw up, and I just kind of put it away and I move on. And it's kind of what it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm guessing the worst part of the weekend for you was Wednesday. You cramped on the bike. You moved to the outside lane, which Dave really appreciated. He's like, "Fuck, finally someone with a brain." Like Colton moved to the outside lane and fucking isn't like being an asshole. And then from there, you got to go straight to the swim. Um, was that the worst kind of section of the games for you, those 2 events, and then just knowing like, "Oh, fuck, I have one more event after this cramping, and it's in the pool?"
Yeah, I was pretty pissed off. Um, Not at anybody else, but just like I guess at the situation in the moment. Because first of all, like I was just getting embarrassed because I'm like I'm a lap and a half behind now, and then
The
I
biking
know.
was crazy, you should have been embarrassed. The biking was
Mm.
great. The biking was you looked like you were delivering newspapers.
Well, like I would do a few pedals on my left with my left leg as well, and then it would start to cramp, so I had to stop pedaling with that leg and just like stand up and like I knew like this happened fairly early on, so I knew what my fate was for this event. So I'm just, like the whole time I'm just riding.
And
I'm
you
not
were in a
going very
pretty hi and you
fast.
were in a pretty, high gear too, right? So it was like you weren't even in the right gear so that it would spin easy, right?
I was just trying to take more stress off my calf, not to
Yeah,
push off very hard. And
yeah.
it's like I also like in my mind I know like okay everybody's gonna get done. And I'm still gonna have 2 laps left to go out here by
Oh,
myself. And like I know I'm gonna take a last, and I know now
And
my
what
leg is
sucks is
gonna hurt.
everyone knows who you are. It's not like you're just some dude who just showed up from South America or Africa. It's like, "Oh, look, there's Colton." Everyone knows.
Yeah, and then I think I did a good job. Like I was pretty upset. Um, like from the time the bike finished under the walk back to the athlete area. But by the time I got back, I think I did a good job of putting it behind me. And I was just like, I was kind of trying to be more like, it's like I am kind of analyzing the situation, but I'm not in it. So I'm just like, okay, Colton crammed in the bike. He got last. I'm going to lose some spots. That sucks. Now we got to swim. We don't know what the workout is yet. I usually don't do well in swim events. I'm probably going to cramp. I'm just accepting now that I'm going to cramp. And that all is what it is. And I just try and look at it like I'm like a non-biased third party looking at these events that are happening to me and just kind of like they are what they are. So I'm gonna, and this is not the game that I'm playing. Like I just had a bad event. I'm gonna cramp on this next event. I don't know what it is. It might be another bad event for me, but this is the game. So embrace what it is. Embrace the challenges. Let's see how good you can do on a swim event while you're cramping. And that's where my mindset goes, rather than being like worried, like, oh man, what if I don't do well? What if I can't finish the event? What if all these things happen? Um, it's no longer like hoping for this perfect scenario to where I just came off a good event. I feel good. It's going to be a good event for me. It's good movements, whatever. I've released, let go of all like my wanting for these things to line up well, and just said, okay, this is the game I'm in. I'm going to execute on this game now.
Which is easier said than done, and in your explanation, you kind of showed it, because as you're saying that, I'm like, I know that you're a, kill or be killed kind of athlete, that you don't do like it's go till the wheels fall off the bus. And so you have to bridge the acceptance that like, hey, there's things out of your control, but then the guy that it makes you such the fan favorite that like, hey, if I have to drown out there, I will. Um, you have to incorporate him into it. It's not like you can deny he exists. He has to somehow fit in your acceptance. Like, hey,
Hmm.
dude, just accept this. You're still going to get to go as hard as you can, but you have to accept that you have only 3 wheels on your car, and shit's going to be weird. It's going to be wonky. Are you up for that fight?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of a weird dichotomy to live in.
Yeah.
But there also has to be like two personalities in you, to where like one's an accountant, and that's the person who's managing your food and your sleep and your regimen, to where everything is dialed in and perfect. But then there's also the other personality where they're just like this outlaw cowboy, and like, I haven't slept in 2 days. I drank half a bottle of whiskey this morning. I can't see straight, but I'm still gonna win this shootout. And there's different times where you have to hand the reins to one or the other. And once they say 3, 2, 1, go, that's got to be that cowboy where he's like, I don't give a shit. I'm cramping. I don't give a shit. This is a bad workout. I don't give a shit if I'm tired. I don't give a shit if I just threw up all my food. This is time to go. You got to go get it done. And it's like that event. I did the first swim. I was a little bit behind, but I was with the pack. Then we did the burpees, and I caught up fairly well. But I also sent it really hard on the burpees when I got back in the water. I was like, man, I just feel like I'm just floating right now. Like I'm barely moving. But I think I was actually doing pretty well, keeping up with the field. And then did the next set of burpees. Blitzed those two. Got back in the water. Started cramping pretty bad.
Where
And it
was
was
the
based
cramping? Still in the calves?
calf felt fine. It was all in my quads. So
And
like
on the bike, it was the calves, and on the swim, it was the holy shit.
yeah. So it was like that muscle right above your kneecap,
Yeah.
and then also um I don't know, the inside of my thigh, that muscle in there,
Yeah.
the abductor, adductor, I can't remember, the opposite side of your IT band, the one on the
That
inside.
one, when it cramps, it almost feels like it's been pulled or injured, right? That one's a weird one when it cramps.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it was my left leg started cramping first, then I would just push off the wall with my right, and I was kinda swimming one-legged for the 100 meters, and then I got back and I did the burpees, and I kinda kept my left leg bent a little bit because I knew if I straightened it, it would cramp again. Then I finished the burpees, got back in the water for my final 50-meter swim, and then both my quads started cramping. So I
Was
did the
that because
last.
you were giving it a final push? Is that why that happened, you think? You're like, "All right, fuck it. Like, now's the time if I'm to test it."
I think I was just at the end of my rope at that point, and I swam the final 50 with both my legs bent and just my arms because I couldn't straighten them at all. And then I got back and we had maybe it was like 10 burpees to finish, and I did them like that the frog stretch where you're on
Yeah.
your knees, like your knees are out. I basically did my burpees like that because I couldn't straighten my legs anymore.
Oh,
I
man.
remember just like,
Like, just,
wa-
like, to get your chest on the ground, your ass is up in there, you were face down, ass up, yeah. Like you're in baby pose, or what's that called?
yeah, it was like the inside of my legs were hitting the floor, not like the front of my quads.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, there's a lot of times during the swim I'm like, damn it, if if I go into like a full cramp right now, I might not be able to finish this event. And I was kind of looking around, like I'm actually doing a little bit okay. Like I'm beating some people in this heat. So I'm probably gonna beat some people in the heats before me because I was in the final heat. And this can be a decent finish on a swim event if I can actually just finish the thing. But yeah, if I wasn't cramping and I could have swam hard, it could have been a top 10, I think. So I mean, swimming's come a long ways. I know my base capacity is really, really good, probably better than anybody's in the field. So you add burpees in there and make us swim tired. That's just better for me.
Your base capacity, meaning like your engine just can keep going.
hmm Yeah,
I
like
know.
the open style workouts where it's just engine and capacity, and you're just gonna keep moving.
I think that workout that I got into. I don't know who I got into a fight with about this argument, but if that workout with the hang squat,
hmm
hang squats, the 225 and the runs, if there would have been a fifth round in there, holy shit! Like you probably would have been. What did you end up finishing in that event? Your placement? Do you remember? I think you would have gone up
seventh or
5 or
eighth,
6.
I think.
What so yeah, I think you would have been top 3. One more round. You needed one more round and people would have been fucked. You would have fucking passed a shitload of people.
Yeah, I was kind of getting to that point. I mean, in the third round, a lot of people started to fall off, and then I think if we had a fifth round, a lot of people would have had to slow down on their hang squat cleans a lot, but mine would have been able to maintain the same pace.
How do you keep going with the cramp? It's so painful. Yet, at any point, did you feel like you needed to grab the rope, the center rope?
No, I mean, I feel like I was going pretty slow. Um, yeah, I just tried to like relax the leg that was cramping, and then both of them, and then I was really worried about getting out of the pool because I didn't want to have to like kick up or straighten my legs to get out. But I was just trying to find a way to keep moving without it going into like a full cramp to where it just like locks up and you can't move it at all. Um,
Did you have to be carried after that event?
no, no, I sat down like on my feet, so both my quads were fully bent for a few minutes, and then 'cause I couldn't stand up because when I tried to stand up, the inside of my legs would cramp. So I sat there until it was time to get off the floor, and I um, stood up slowly and then kind of waddled off the floor and got over to my chair. And then I can't remember if I called Joey or Allie. I think I had to have them get my clothes and stuff out of my bag because I couldn't bend over to get my stuff out because I kept cramping. Then
Damn.
after I sat there for a while, I could walk away.
Yeah, and then I saw you as we were leaving the venue, and you were at the opposite side of the starting line, and you were in a fucking great mood. I was like, "Oh, this is awesome. He's in a great mood." I think you were joking around with Ibarra or Olivia or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm usually in a better mood when Chris is around. I like Chris a lot.
Yeah, that's
Him and
awesome.
Olivia are funny.
Uh, um, in Thursday, how was Thursday for you?
Thursday, my body felt pretty good overall. Like my quads felt fine from the cramping. Or just my calf was really, really tight. Like um, like I couldn't walk very well just because it was so tight. I couldn't um like stretch out my foot. So I was wobbling around most of the day, and I just did a ton of like massage work with it and using like the compression legs, those things that like squeeze them and let it go. I was basically
Y-
doing that all day and trying to hydrate. And then when Friday came, it still was pretty bad. And Joey and I were getting warmed up for whatever the first event was. I had to jump up onto a pull-up bar. I don't remember to do what, but I jumped up and I remember I barely got up there because I couldn't like push off my calf. But then, like once we got going and the events started, I never felt my calf at all during any of the events. And just once I started to cool down, it was really tight. And then by the time Sunday came, it felt fine.
When you look at the other athletes who have been the shorter athletes, historically, and I'm open to being wrong about this, but they were all good runners. Like you look at Spieler or
Mhm.
Bridges, and so you do have a different, those are places where they could make shit up on, right? Like Murph was like, I think Josh won Murph at the games one year,
Mhm.
and so there is no. It's kind of like there's no blueprint for you. You like where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are.
Mhm. Yeah, I think for Like my build compared to like Josh and Chris Spieler, I'm probably like 30 pounds heavier than those guys, at least 20.
Right.
So I think just with the way the programming in the sport has been since I've been competing, I think at first you saw it more so like with semifinals. Like there's a lot of machine emphasis, a lot of really heavy weights, and so like the people getting through that filter had to be really powerful and strong. And I just couldn't do it at 170 pounds body weight. So now that I'm like 190, 195, I have a lot more power, so I can compensate being smaller on the machines and with the barbells and dumbbells and sandbags and all that stuff. So it helps me out there. But then having shorter legs with running, I don't have the added advantage of being 30 pounds lighter than the guys who are walking around at 205,
Ah,
210
ah.
to try and beat them on the run. Um, so I'm kind of getting fucked on both ends there, where I got short legs. They're also tree trunks. But yeah, that's something I have to figure out, because I think that if I was significantly smaller, I'm gonna lose too much ground on the weightlifting events and on the machines, and it'd be helpful to make it up on running. But just with the way the programming is, in 2025, I think they said every event had a weightlifting implement in it or a machine in it. So, you're just gonna, with the way the programming is right now, it's really, really hard to be the Chris Spieler, Josh Bridges type build, because there's not enough like pure gymnastics capacity type events to make up the hits you're gonna take on the pure strength and pure machine events. And did you also see this trend where a lot of the gymnastics events are skill based? So you see like the rollovers and the handstand walk obstacle. It's not like, how many, did you just go into your capacity on like a strict handstand push up, or like you're going to failure on muscle ups. They're very skill based. So then you can be a bigger athlete and obtain the skills
Mm, mm,
easier than you can be a bigger athlete and obtain the capacity
mm.
in those movements. So then there just isn't room for you to have those home runs to where a bigger athlete is going to have those big holes. And it's also the field itself, the athletes in the field have changed because of the programming. So you have to where, like 10 years ago, you had Fikowski, and like he's the big guy. Maybe there's like two or three other guys who are pretty big, but like if there's a handstand push-up
But they're
event.
not finishing in the top 10.
Mhm.
The other big guys, yeah.
Yeah, but so Fikowski had a really big disadvantage to where if there's a handstand push-up event, there's two or three other guys who are about his size who he's going to beat because he's fitter than them. And then he's also going to beat a handful of the average size guys because that his margin of fitness is so much greater that he can beat them even with a disadvantage. But then there's also 10 guys in the field who are, 5'8", 5'9", and below, who it's really, really difficult for him to have such a margin of fitness advantage on them to where he can overcome it and beat them on a event that's biased for smaller athletes. To where now it's kind of flipped to where you have like James, Dallin, Jason, Roman, and Yolakai.
Dylan Hamming.
Yeah, Dylan Hammond. You can name, there's about 10 guys roughly at the games, called a third of the field, to where they're around the 6 foot mark or above, and they're around
Souza. I don't know if you
220
said
or
Souza.
above.
Yeah.
Yeah, Soza. So we have a bunch of guys to where, like if you are down pepper, and let's say that you have like a ring muscle up capacity weakness. I don't know if he does or not, but let's just say, for example, you're down, you have that weakness, and we have a ring muscle up capacity event. You've got 9 or 10 other guys who are in the same boat as you, and if Dallon's fitter than them, he's going to beat all 10 of those guys. So he that makes his floor to where Fikowski's floor was like 27th out of 30, to where Dallon's floor, just for the different fields, same events, might be 18th or 20th out of 30. And then he's also so fit that he's going to beat a handful of the guys who are smaller than him, but he's just fitter than them. To where right now, if you're a smaller athlete and you go into, machine 7,200, like we're the other smaller guys, the next smallest guy is 4 inches bigger than me, and that's Austin Hatfield. And then you got like a couple of guys who are 5'9". But But then after that, everybody's 5'10", 5'11", and then you got, a third of the field who is 6 foot or bigger. And it's like for me to beat them on that event, I have to be like have an incredible margin of fitness difference between me and them to beat them. So I think the combination of the change in programming and the change in the field, it makes it really, really difficult for a 170-pound, 5'5" guy to even get to the games.
Going back to the open on the wall balls, do you think if you were
Oh, can I bring up a comment real quick
yeah,
from Matt
please.
Burns?
Yeah.
Also, the bigger guys are way better in gymnastics than back then. I think they definitely are, but the thing is, the testing threshold for gymnastics has not increased at the same rate as it has for barbells and machines. So, a lot of the smaller guys in the field, our gymnastics capacity is also increased a lot, and that you don't often get to see the margin between us and the bigger guys because the way it's tested, it's often not like super important in the event. It's often like, hey, you need to be good enough at just this gymnastics movement to do it in 1 or 2 sets, and then you're gonna get to the echo bike, and that's where you're gonna be able to separate. So a lot of the bigger guys.
An example would be like at the end of a workout, put 50 handstand push-ups to balance out the fact that you just had a rowing and ski erg that wasn't long enough for a smaller athlete to show their endurance.
Yeah, so I think the quarterfinals event with the row, barbell, and handstand push-ups at the end is a good example. You saw a lot of the bigger athletes could do that in 2 sets. I did it unbroken, but you could have had 40 reps. I'm still going to go unbroken, and now they have to do 4 sets. So where that becomes a much larger separator if you increase the number of reps and the importance of that movement in the workout, but it's also often not, tested to that extent to where the athletes in the field who have really good gymnastics capacity can show the margins they actually have there.
And then you have to also accept the fact that you are a massive outlier, right? Like, do you think your outlier on your body type is more significant than the outlier on whoever the biggest athlete is, Sousa or James Sprague?
Yeah, I think if you just look at it like me to the next shortest athlete is about 4 inches. If you go to the tallest athlete and you go down 4 inches, that's a third of the field.
Right.
Or more. So it's not you're definitely an outlier, but it's not like, it'd be like if somebody was at the games who was 6'7".
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever see anyone like that.
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. If you were 20 pounds lighter, let's say you showed up at 175 for that open workout with the wall balls, would you have still won it? Does that weight help you there?
I think it helps with my power production on the throwing the ball to the target.
Yeah.
But I think then I would have a lot less muscle tissue to feed. I'd be a lot better. I'd be even better aerobically. So I think I still would have done really well on that workout.
Yeah. Were you gonna
But
add
then
something?
even with weight, if you look at something like the echo bike and thruster workout at the games, like that final bar at 135 is about 50 or 60 pounds below my body weight, and people typically think thrusters are better for smaller athletes. But we've got guys in the games who are 225, 230. So like that final thruster weight is almost 100 pounds below their body weight. So like there becomes a point to where moving the weight on a thruster is no longer advantageous to be a smaller athlete if it is the case and not everybody's going unbroken automatically. Like if me and James are doing 95-pound thrusters, it doesn't matter how much fitter than me he is. He's not going to beat me on that. But if it gets to the point to where, like, let's say James is heavier and stronger than me, the thruster weight would get to a point to where it becomes more advantageous to be bigger. Just because you're able to move the external load better, being bigger.
Would you have ever thought, if I asked you 10 years ago that you'd be 195 and lean, would you have thought that was humanly possible?
I was at 10 years ago, I was 18, so I was 145 pounds. It would have been hard. It would have been
And
hard for
people
me to
st
imagine.
and people still thought you were yoked back then. Even at 145, you looked yoked.
Yeah, I mean, I was had more muscle and was stronger than anybody else in my weight class in the state at 145 pounds. And I was kind of an anomaly. Like, there's other guys with muscles, but like I would be definitely in the top tier as far as like, oh, that guy's really strong and has a lot of muscles for his size back then at 145, and now I've added 50 pounds since then. So it would
Hey,
have been
does
hard for me to conceptualize another 50 pounds. Hey, dude, I was a pretty good runner back then too.
you were?
Yeah, like I would typically like almost weekly run like 10 or so miles at a 7-minute pace. And that would be like, it's called zone 3. And I would do that pretty regularly.
Can you do that now? Can you run 10 miles at a 7-minute pace?
Maybe I ran, well, I don't know. I ran maybe it's 5 miles this spring at like a 6:40 pace. So we'd have to add another 5 miles and take 20 seconds off.
Yeah, it's crazy how much in the last 10 years how much muscle you put on and still maintain what you're doing. Um I want to talk to you about your wedding. How was the wedding? Taylor said to me it was the first wedding he ever went to where he didn't want to go home. I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
It was super fun. I mean, so we had it at the gym CrossFit Kilo, which is where Ali and I met. We both started CrossFit there. So we got there Wednesday evening and kind of started tearing down and getting it set up for a wedding. So we got this sky lift and we went through and took down all the ropes, unbolted all the squat racks, took all the machines and put them out into some trailers that we had outside of the gym.
Wow, they let you do
Basically,
all that?
yeah, dude, they were awesome. Yeah, and they helped us. They helped us with a lot of it, and so we kind of got everything moved out of the way. Then we built like this backdrop for the ceremony. It was just like this wooden 8x8 wooden square that we made from some leftover boards from the fencing we made for the dogs, and we put up like these string lights all throughout the gym, which made it look pretty neat. And yeah, then we just hung out and partied. So it was a pretty short reception because like we didn't want to have like too many things that were just like boring or monotonous. We kept it all pretty like casual, and yeah, we just had some food, hung out on the gym. And the gym is huge, it's like 120 feet by I don't know 90, something like that. So we had a ton of space, and yeah, we just come hang out, eat some food. Yeah, we had a great time.
Who did the I don't know what it's called, the service, like says like, "Hey, do you love her?" And you're like, "Yeah." And do you love him? And yeah, who did that?
Armin McCormick, who was my original CrossFit coach, who
Oh shit.
opened CrossFit Kilo. Mm.
Oh god, he must have been nervous as shit. That's one of those things when someone asks you, you're like, "Sure, I'd love to do it." And inside you're like, "Why?
I
Why? Why me?"
I think that he had done a couple of them
Oh, he
prior to
had,
that.
okay.
Yeah, so at least it wasn't his first one, and yeah, he did a great job. It was super fun. But yeah, it was pretty casual, and yeah, like I wasn't stressed. I think Allie and her mom were pretty stressed out about a lot of stuff, but I was kind of like, hey, like I don't care. Like whatever happens, happens. If things,
Like if a dog runs through here and takes his shit, it is what it is.
yeah, I don't care about any of that. Like I'm just here to
It's not
take
worse
the,
than cramping on the swim.
yeah. Like all I care about is like the people we have here, and then getting to the point in the day where we can just hang out, eat some food, and just have a good time together. And like I don't care if like this isn't perfect, this decoration isn't right, we're not on schedule. Like I don't care. I don't give a shit. We're just gonna hang out.
Those are those kind of things in life. A wedding that you don't realize how emotional it's going to be until it happens. Like you just think, "Oh, I'm just going to get married and I'm going to say I do, and then we're going to go home and go to sleep." Uh, did you experience that? Like some like crazy waves of emotion flow over you?
I felt some moments where like a normal person would feel emotion. Like I would feel it start, then I'd be like, okay, just relax, like it's whatever. But yeah, like there would be like parents crying and grandparents and things like that, and We did our vows. Allie cried a little bit, but no, I didn't cry at all. People were taking bets on whether or not I was gonna cry, and I was like, "Yeah, no,
Did you feel your tear ducts turn on at all?
no, I never got to that point.
No.
I'm a master of my emotions. I can turn them off."
That's crazy because I know that shit, like, you think it's gonna like, my wife and I just went to the courthouse, and I thought it was
Mhm.
just gonna be, like, sign some paperwork, and I was like, "Oh, fuck." I was, like, levitating off the ground. I was like, "Okay, what the fuck is going on here?"
Yeah, it's funny when you have things like that and the gravity of the situation. It just feels weird. It's crazy.
I heard nothing but rave reviews about your family. That's what Taylor said. He said the family on both sides was just absolutely amazing and so loving, and he said he just didn't wanna leave.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. My dad, he went up to, or he talked to Taylor, and he said something like, "I got my eye on you," and Taylor's like, okay." He didn't know that it was my dad, so my dad was giving him shit for a little bit, and then, yeah, I think they talked for a while, and yeah, it was fun. Super glad that Taylor and Bryson made the trip out, and like Travis from Vindicate, he came out from Omaha, Nebraska, and yeah, super glad I got to see all them. That was great.
Sevon pulled your registry up on the air. That was I wasn't sure if that was like I had to ask like 10 people. I was like, "Is it okay to do this?" And we bought some gifts. Did you get a bunch of stuff from randos?
Yeah, we got some stuff, and Allie's like, "Who's this?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Hey, how was it making the registry? Where you're like, "Hey, I need a shovel," and she's like, no." Was she ever like, "No, Colton"?
I didn't put anything on the registry. That was
Oh, that
100%
was all
Allie.
her.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, well then you got a good one because I thought for sure some of this stuff was stuff that you put on there. And do you ever trip on uh, um what you've made of the world, like how the world treats you and how people treat you? Like, what are your like? Hey, were you ever as a kid? Did you ever were you ever a pity party kid? Like, because now like there's no pity party in you at all, um, or at least you hide it well because I never see it. Were you ever in that mode where you felt sorry for yourself in your life?
Yeah, for sure. As a kid, I think it's something you have to learn to avoid. I think it's really one of the most destructive things anybody can do in their life is to kind of give in to the self pity and the feeling sorry for yourself. I mean, it just spirals into like I remember in wrestling, cutting weight, and it's really easy to feel sorry for yourself when you haven't eaten for 3 days and you're sitting in math class and you fucking can't focus and fucking stupid ass kids next to you are being dumb, and it's just like holy shit. And and also like it's gonna be 2 months until you actually feel full and get to drink water and things like that. So that's easy to feel sorry for yourself. That's probably the first time when I recognized like once you fall into the trap of feeling sorry for yourself, it just makes it so much worse. Um and then just like getting to CrossFit Kilo and with Armin and just kind of the mindset that those guys have. Like we did I started at that gym and like 2 weeks after that, they had like these camps, these options available. I'm like, hey Armin, I think I want to do the gymnastics seminar that you guys are doing. He's like, why don't you just do the competitors camp? The competitors camp is a 24-hour camp. So like we start at like noon on Saturday and we go to like noon on Sunday, and you're basically exercising the entire time. Like you don't sleep. You get like a few 15-minute breaks to like change clothes and eat really quick. Then it's on to the next workout, and we would do things like team marathon row into like 1,000 wall balls for time, or like 500 devil's press for time in groups of three, or go on like a 6-hour ruck where we take turns carrying like
Oh shit.
old bumper plates that are broken, and we have like just like barbells. You have to take turns carrying stuff, and you could just see like Armin and Travis and Meg and how like they carry themselves, and they're not like in the corner like, oh God, it's so hard, I'm so tired, but they're still in good moods. Because that's something you have to practice and force kind of upon yourself. Like, hey, I'm gonna smile, I'm gonna be in a good mood, no matter how shitty I feel, even though I've got 12 hours into this and I got 12 more hours to go. I know how much it's gonna suck. But that's just definitely a skill you have to learn and practice. And I remember 2 years ago, I went to the Big Fish Foundation's 30-hour fundraiser, which is basically the same thing, but for 30 hours, and it's in Colorado. And there's like, I think there's like 14 of us, like 7 athletes and 7 veterans, and we're basically doing the same thing there. And um, we started off with a 3-hour AMRAP of it was a run around their course, and you start off with an empty like go ruck bag, and you get to a spot at the bottom of a hill where there's a bunch of rocks. And Tasha's like, "Hey, I need some rocks up here for my house for landscape. I need you guys to fill up your bags every time you come there. You run up this fire break, this steep ass hill, and then bring them back over here. Put the rocks on your mat. We're gonna weigh the rocks at the end of the 3 hours. Whoever has the most rocks wins." And I went hard as fuck because I had done like 3 of these 24-hour camps before. And I know like, hey, I can do it. But like, then I wanted to see like, can I go treat this like the CrossFit Games? Like this first event is 100 points of the CrossFit Games. I'm gonna go fucking hard and then just kind of see how if I can maintain that throughout the 30 hours. And I remember Tosh always plays his games. Like the rule was if you start your last lap before the timer goes off, so like you start each lap takes like maybe like 20 minutes or so. And if you looks like you start your lap at 20 or 2 hours and 50 minutes, you're allowed to finish it. And your rocks that you bring back count for your weight. I remember I started to leave with like 17 minutes left. I'm like, okay, I can kind of relax on this run, get a really heavy bag, bring back some rocks. And as I'm leaving, Tosh goes, come back heavy and come back on time. So I had to get back before the 3 hours ran out. And I was like, oh, fuck, no, I have to run this. This is my fastest lap. So I ran really hard, came back heavy, and put my rocks down. And that was just kind of like, there's a lot of little like mind fucks like that go on throughout the 30 hours. So we do that, and then we do like another 5-hour AMRAP. Oh, I forgot to say, before all this started, my flights got delayed going out to Denver. I slept I think I got in and I stayed up with Armin and some other guys, and we stayed up to like 2 a.m. Drinking some beers. I didn't drink any, but they were drinking. And then we got up at 5 for breakfast the next morning. So I was on like 3 hours of sleep before this started. So we do the first event, it's a 3-hour AMRAP. We do the next event, it's a 5-hour AMRAP of, I don't know, rowing, sandbag carry, sandbags over the yoke, whatever. And then we do the next event, and it includes like a walk around this other trail. And I was walking, like I was going kind of pretty slow, and like I kind of had my head down, like my eyes were hurting, like I was having like a small autoimmune flare up, and the light was hurting. And Tosh saw me walking kind of mopingly, and he just goes, "Hey, how you carry it is how you perform it." Like basically telling me stop acting like a bitch and feeling sorry for yourself. Put your head up and you're gonna feel better. And it's like, okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. And then that's kind of the thing. Like I tell myself that a lot now. How you carry it is how you perform it. So if you are walking around and you're moping and you have poor body language and you're feeling sorry for yourself and you're telling yourself, "Man, I'm so tired. This is hard. I got all this other stuff to do still." That's gonna bring you down a lot physically as well. To where if you're like you force a smile on your face, make a stupid joke to the person next to you, see if they laugh, and despite how you're feeling, you go into it with a good attitude. It helps immensely. It's night and day difference.
Uh, um, uh, people rally around. I don't know if winners is the right word. There's definitely a better word for it, but people rally around winners, and that's the vibe. I just think of how, at least from the outside, it looks like how good the world is to you, and I know that probably didn't come easy. Like people aren't good to you. People are good to you because of what you've made of your world. You have like a winner's world. Like you have a magnetism that makes it so that people want to support you. It's like uh you would think people want to help the downtrodden and you know what I mean, and the pathetic and those who are in bad position. But the truth is it's like one of my friends told me one time, no one ever gave them free weed when they were poor and they were scraping together every penny they can to buy a sack of weed. But when they became rich, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is trying to give them free weed. And it's kinda like that. You've made this world around you. I just think about just, like, how much I know all the people who know you, like you, and that, like, you think about what the gym did. I mean, that's crazy. If I owned that gym, I'd been like, "No, fuck you, work around the pool. You're not disassembling the rig. Like, are you out of your fucking mind?" But people like you've made this they're good people. I don't wanna take anything away from the people around you, but you've made this world where people wanna support you because you're a winner, not because, um, you're homeless on the street. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's pretty wild. You're kind of like a museum quality specimen of that, of just like, hey, believe in yourself, be a winner, have a winner mindset, and the world will then you'll attract that. You'll attract people who want to be a part of that.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, I've been incredibly fortunate for the people that I've been around from just like CrossFit Kilo and now CrossFit Teo and all the people I met within it, and even a lot of the sponsors like Gabe from Paper Street and Travis and Vindicate and people that I'm friends with now, and meeting like Bryson and Taylor, who are two of the nicest, most generous people you ever meet. Um, I've been incredibly fortunate, and it's really weird. Like when I go to these events or even go like to the airport, I get recognized in the airport a lot, and then I come back home and I'm just walking around in pig shit. It's kind of weird, but I think that I think like there's no shortage of people who are going through whatever trials that they're going through and feeling sorry for themselves. At the end of the day, everybody has trials they're going through. And to an extent, there's also not a shortage of incredibly talented athletes who can win, or like we believe they can win. But also, you can kind of see like they're not really like me in the way they're just they're built physically, but also like there's been this major disconnect within the last decade of the games athletes in the community, and it's because like the games athletes have become so different. Where like it used to be like, hey, you're working out with this person every day in your class, and they're just a hard worker. They go to work every day like you. They come in, they hit these their training. It's really intense. They maybe do an extra piece, and then now they're out there on the floor competing. And there's something you can admire about that, to where it's like people are finding it harder to admire. Like people always look up to the best in the sport and winners, but it is harder for some people to see, like, okay, all you do is train all day, which is reasonable because you want to be the best in the world at this. But then you're talking about like, man, it's just so hard, and I'm just all these competitions that got me really tired and burnt out. And oh man, I got to make this post for my sponsors, and it's like you take a month, basically a month off after every major event, and you're not going to all these other events and being with the community because you're like, oh, I don't want to have to be in shape for this. I don't want to have to train hard for that. I want to have my easy training periods and training cycles to where like I don't have to really suffer all the time. And it's like they're so talented. They can take all this time off, come back in the gym and get right back to where they were very quickly, and start setting new PRs again. Like probably the craziest example that we've seen is like Matt. The year they had like two opens, where the second open was in like October, November, I think, the sanctional year, and he was saying like he wasn't training for like weeks leading up to that. He started training again the first week of the open, and then he won the open. And it's like that's an incredible level of talent, but it's like the difference between you and me is really your genetic talent. It's not like you're going through this thing that is like you're just working so hard and being doing this thing that is just unfathomable for like a work ethic standpoint, to where people can maybe relate to it a little bit more. I think for me, it's like I compete a ton because I like to compete. I don't mind, like I don't need a month long vacation after the games. We took 5 days off, and I was back in the gym, getting back into it. And it's like other people see this like, hey, I'm not getting a month vacation every year. Like I know the games is hard, but do you need a month? It's like no, you don't need a month, but you're talented enough. You can take a month, so you're gonna take it. And then I'm good. I'm doing Waterpalooza SoCal Crash and Rogue within a 6 week span. It's like that's a lot of travel and it's hard, but at the end of the day, like I'm willing to show up in shape and do the hard, intense training leading up to it, so I can beat each of them. Like I'm not peaking for SoCal, I'm not peaking for Crash. I'll probably be more peaking for Rogue, but I don't need to avoid these other competitions to do that, I can still, it's going to be a little bit of travel, which you can handle just fine. And it's going to be some intense workouts and some competition stress, which is like, hey, just suck it up and do it, and go be a part of the community and see the people and go to these smaller competitions. Because I think that's what, like at our core, that's kind of what CrossFitters are supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be the ones that are doing the crazy hard things, and people are like, holy shit, look at these people. So I think there's a lot of games athletes who have kind of moved away from that. Like, hey, I just want this to be as easy as possible, and I'm going to peak twice a year. I'm going to take these long breaks off because I'm tired, and people have a harder time relating to that. And it's like, why am I cheering for you? Cheering for you just because you're the most talented? Like, not everybody can really get behind that.
Maybe that's why it's so fun watching James Briggs too, because he's going for it.
Yeah, he's doing everything.
Yeah. It, w- I just it hit me, since the games, just the full picture of you. It's just like you made this. I know you're very grateful of the people around you, but like it's not enough to have people around you. You have to take advantage of it, and you have to do the hard work. And it's so obvious that you manifested this world around you. Like you didn't do the pity party. Like the crazy thing is like Charles Oliveira was supposed to fight. I don't know who he was. He's supposed to fight Sarukian, I think, and his buddy died. So he pulled out of the fight. And that's cool. Like I don't have I don't have an issue with it. And I don't even know if that story is true, but that's just the story you see online, that he pulled out of the fight because his buddy died. And when your mom passed, how many days before the Open was that?
I think I was on a plane to Nashville for the first Open workout like 2 days later.
Yeah. So you're already going to do one of the most vulnerable things ever. You're going to show up to Justin, to his home gym, and work out against him, and then that happens, and then you still fucking do the workout. And so now, like, emotionally you've been rubbed raw, and physically you're going to expose yourself to the whole world. That takes some I don't know what that takes. Did you ever come close to pulling out of that when that happened?
No, I don't think I ever really considered pulling out of it. I think that, I don't know, it kind of was like, it's like my mom was religious like me, and I guess like I knew that she was not like afraid to die, and like I feel that with my father too. Like he said, like when my grandpa died, like we were at the farm, the same day and every day afterwards, because like you can't really take a break from that. There's things that need to be done. So it's kind of like maybe that mindset carried over a little bit, but my dad sort of tells my brother and me, I don't know if he's like maybe jokingly or whatever, but he's like, hey, when I die, carry on. You just got to carry on. So I guess that was kind of the mindset. And I know like when I die, I don't want people to be like stopping their lives or whatever to mourn me. It's like, hey, you just gotta carry on. It might be hard, but you can do hard things. And like people also have like this
But it would have been a
idea.
totally okay place to throw a pity party for yourself. Like, that's a tough one.
Mm,
You know what I mean? That one's just like, yeah, you get a break.
mhm.
Everyone gets a pass.
Yeah, I think I also never like that's kind of other people's standard and how they think about things, but I've never used that as an excuse to lower the bar for myself. Not that this is a situation where you're lowering the bar, but I've never used that as an excuse to change what I am going to do or make things easier for me. I figured out what I was going to say next, but yeah, I think that like we have these ideas of like things you have to or have to not do or can't do. Like on your mom's side, you can't compete in 2 days. It's like you can, and like I really had like this idea came to me really clearly when I don't think I'd qualified for the games yet. I was still farming a lot. Like we had a lot of 12-hour days, and it was sometime in the summer. And we had like we got up at 4. My dad and I had to go to the farm, and we are there till like we might have gotten done like 9 p.m. this day. We were super busy at the farm. And then in my head, I'm like, oh, I can't go train right now. Like I can't go do my 3 hours of training in this shed that has one light bulb and the floor is all cracked. And, like I can't.
How many watts was the light bulb?
It's barely working. And I told myself like I can't go do that. But then I'm like, well, nobody's gonna come throw me in jail. Like I'll go shower, put my shorts on, and then walk out there, and then just do it. Like I don't have to have this limitation or this rule in my head for what I can or can't do. Like you have free will, and a lot of things are just you just have to make the choice to do it. And a lot of whether it's uncomfortable or not, like it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to suffer and struggle.
It seems like the Jesus bug has really bit you in the last year, or that you've been more open to expressing it. Did something happen in the last year?
Honestly, it's when Charlie Kirk got shot.
Oh,
When
interesting. Yeah,
I
that rock. Yeah,
started
that
reading
rocked
my
me.
Bible more, started reading every day, and just being more willing to be open about my faith.
You know what's crazy? I wasn't like a Charlie Kirk fan. I mean, I wasn't not a fan, but I just did like he just was just like something that YouTube just offered me up that I always just scrolled past. And when he got shot, it rocked me. I think I cried. I was like, oh, and
Mhm,
I didn't even fucking know the guy or have any feelings about like you know what I mean. He was just like one of those guys who makes cool videos on college campuses. That
mhm.
fucking rocked me.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. It's like I just watched some of his videos before too, but I was not like when I remember I was on I think Peter's debate show when and Taylor was like I can't even focus right now. Charlie Kirk got shot, and like at first I didn't even know who he was talking about. Like it took me a minute to like, oh, Charlie Kirk, it's that guy. But then just like with the whole fallout of it afterwards, um, yeah, just felt really moved by it, I guess.
Um, yeah, I was crazy moved by it. Any I wonder why that is.
Yeah, it was weird. I've heard that a lot.
About people getting rocked by it who didn't even know who he was.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, and how is that reading the Bible? I remember, Dave told me he said, "Hey," after he read the Bible, he was like, "Hey, I got to tell you one weird story." And he goes, "What?" He goes, "I was in a shitty mood and I got on an airplane and I was just like trudging through the Bible because he just wants to read. He's just into
Hmm.
reading." And he's like, It's true. I read that thing for like within 5 minutes of reading it, I was in my whole fucking mood flipped around." He goes, "It was really weird." Um, Thoughts on how it's affected you?
Um, yeah, can I answer this comment real quick from Carl Felder? Would
Oh,
you ever
yeah. Um, I'm trying to find.
would you ever vote
Oh,
Democrat, Colton? I mean, you think about like the Kennedy Democrats, um,
don't ask what
and
your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
yeah, that's much more in line with a modern conservative than it is a modern Democrat. So I mean, things can always change, but I'm definitely more conservative. But yeah, so the thing about reading the Bible is like, so I read every day, and a lot of times it's just a chapter, and that's all I get through. And sometimes I'll read more, but then I'll read that, then I'll read whatever you can call it like leisure book I'm reading at that time, non or a secular book. I started going into that afterwards, but even when you're reading the parts of the Bible where it's like Old Testament, it's basically just talking about old Jewish law. You're not really, it's hard to even really understand or get a lot from it because it's just you're so removed from that time period and that culture. It's weird, like even just reading that changes, um, like your mood, it changes the connection that you feel with your faith. And it's not like you're reading anything super profound, like a lot of the New Testament stuff. But it's just like the act of actually reading it. It's weird. It just kind of changes you.
You know. You know how, like, when you read books and then you go out into the world and you start seeing those things?
Mm.
I'll never forget, I was reading that series in high school, Interview with a Vampire, I don't know if you know that, and I started seeing, like, oh, these people are behaving like the vampires in these books. These actual archetypes of these vampires are kinda like these people, even though they're not drinking blood, they're like, I can see these archetypes in them. Do you feel that way about the Bible? Like, as you read it more and more, you see kind of the wonders of God, like, all around in the workings in your world?
Yeah,
Like,
and
it
you start
opens
to
up your perception or the paradigm in which
Mhm.
you view the operations of the world?
Yeah, you start to see a lot of the principles that the Bible teaches, particularly on morality and how to live your life. And it's kind of like there's a lot of, I guess, secular ways that people look at things, or like frameworks and principles for how to be and how to act. And I think you see like a lot of it in Stoicism, and there's a lot of other examples. But it's kind of like it really is just as simple as following the moral guidelines within the Bible that is taught. Um, the moral framework that carries over from the Old Testament to the New Testament. So there's a lot of things from the Old Testament that don't carry over. Like people think of the New Testament as like a sequel to the Old, but it's more like a replacement in many ways. But moral laws carry over, and you see a lot of those principles. Um, and it's just like yeah, it's really simple. Just follow these things, and it's made to be really complicated um, for a lot of people. But it's really pretty simple at the end of the day. It's
Um,
like you eventually, the more you study it and get into it, you eventually eventually make a full circle. You come back around to the beginning and go, it was this simple the whole time.
it's interesting because my whole life, I was brought up, obviously in California, and there's a deep underlying hatred for, country and religion. It's just constantly being pumped into you. Very subtle. Like if you don't know it's happening until you get to the other side of it. And what's being pumped into you with that hatred is to be nice to everyone, right? Be nice, be nice, be nice, be
Mhm,
nice. And then of course that bleeds quickly into political correctness, right? And when you're being politically correct, you undermine your morals and integrity. So being nice undermine your integrity and morals. And then as soon as you undermine your morals and your integrity, you isolate yourself. Like all of a sudden, your deep connections with other human beings start to vanish, and everything it becomes sort of transactional as opposed to like real.
mhm.
And then when you finally flip back around to having morals and having integrity, you realize that's really the only true kindness, you can offer. Um, and so it's an interesting path. I do feel like something's going on that so many people are experiencing this. Um, Integrity is a son of a bitch because it's so easy to tell white lies and get away from your own integrity and to just default to being nice because
Mhm.
you want to avoid confrontation or the hard conversations.
Yeah, Sam Dancer said something about that on his story maybe a week or two ago. The difference between being nice and kind, and that yeah, a lot of people think Christians need to be very nice and polite and not say anything mean. Um, but Sam was kind of talking about like we were never called to be nice. We were called to be kind, and sometimes that is saying like, "Hey, I disagree with this. I don't think you should be doing that." And then a lot of people view that as like, "Hey, you're being judgmental, or you are hating this person because of this thing that they're doing." And I guess I'll use homosexuality as an example. So, like with Christian ethics, we do not agree with homosexuality, and a lot of times that people view that as like, "Oh, you hate people who are homosexuals who are gay." But the thing is, to really understand Christianity, you have to understand that that is a sin just as all the other things that are sins, and we
Like
don't
cheating,
view
like
it.
cheating on your wife
Mhm.
or
Yeah,
lying or stealing.
yeah, exactly. And we all have different sins that we do, but some of them are very external and public. So obviously, if you are openly gay, that is something that we view as a sin, and it's something that we see outside on you that you wear. To whereas a lot of us don't wear our sins as publicly, but we have to recognize we also still have them, and I don't view your sin on any different level than my own sin. And we
Mm.
have to, I guess, recognize. I guess maybe people or Christians need to do a better job at explaining that and saying like, "Hey, we don't value you as a person any less just because we don't agree with this thing that you're doing. Because there's things that I myself do that, in the eyes of God, are equally as immoral. They just happen to not be things that I am wearing publicly."
Nothing is more gay than the Bible. Thank you, David. Very well said. But it couldn't be more wrong. Did you have a calling by any chance? Like, did you have a moment in the last year where you felt a calling? Like any particular moment? Like what do they call them? Like testimonials? Like you looked down at some pig shit and it was like the Virgin Mary, shaped like the Virgin Mary.
No, I don't think I've ever had like a particular moment um, where it just kind of like changed everything. There's been times where like with Dave's example, things like that will happen, and you're like, "Oh, this is something that's different," and you feel very connected in those moments. But I wouldn't say I had like one like kind of breakthrough epiphany moment, I guess.
Because some people have come on the show and told me like, you can't be Christian until you've been called, and then I'm just like fucking at night being like, yo, or like I tell my Christian friends like, yo, talk to your boy, like because
Mhm.
I don't want to fake it. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want to like I didn't do this Boy Scout badge, uh, but um, but I'm gonna put the badge on anyway. You know what I mean? So there's like I hear all these people who say they're Christian, and I'm like, well, fuck, I need to hear their story. I want to hear how they were called. Like, do you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah. um,
and then I even asked one guy on the show, could you be have been called and not what did I ask him? Could you be called and not know it? That wasn't how I phrased it. I'll remember. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
it's interesting because I hear you talk a lot about like I don't know what you call it, but like you're just like you believe things are gonna work out, and then
Yeah.
they do,
Yeah, I just feel
and
like I have very strong faith.
mhm.
Yeah.
And I saw that, um, like with my own eyes when you wanted to get this dog, Arthur, and you're like, "How do I get it?" And then it just so happened that I was doing the open announcement 40 minutes from your house the same week that Arthur was old enough to fly. And I'm like, "Hey, I'll just bring him out to your house, and he's gonna come. Like, you don't have to pay for a shipper. You don't have to fly out."
I thought for sure you weren't bringing them. I had my fingers crossed.
It, it it's insane how perfectly it worked out.
Yeah.
Um, so it seems like, yeah, you have some kind of connection or faith to something that is helping guide things for you. And yeah, it was just interesting because I always hear you talk about that and give examples like, "Hey, I believe things are going to work out," and they always do. Nobody's life is like as lucky as mine when it comes to that. And then that worked out absolutely perfect. So I was like, "Oh, okay, he's right."
For four of us. You know, I don't even call him Arthur. I call him like Walter, or I always give him a new name just to piss off my family. Or like in the morning, like I'll see him run through the house with his doll to go hump it in the living room. I'm like, yo, the neighbor's dog's over here.
Mm.
You know what he does every night in the middle of the night? Every fucking night in the middle of the night, about 3 a.m., he comes over to me on the side of on the bed and jumps up and puts his nose in my face. And then I have to pick up the blankets, and then he runs under and gets between my legs every fucking night. I tell him before we go to bed, I'm like, yo, do you just want to start here? Like, you can just start here. We don't have to wake up at 3. You don't have to wait till
Mm.
3 to come over. Oh, he's such a piece of work. Yeah, that was a funny, because my boys kept saying, "When are we gonna get a dog? When are we gonna get a dog?" I'm like, "Dude, when we're supposed to get a dog, we're gonna get a dog. Like, be
Mhm.
cool, just be cool. A dog will come."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it makes you feel like there is some sort of intelligent design, right? Whether it's not you don't believe it's a Christian God, it doesn't seem totally random.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. I know this was last minute. I hope all of you are happy. I know he's no Alexis Raptis, but I texted him last night. And I said, "Yo, how about tomorrow?" Were you even awake when I text you? Oh yeah, because you texted back.
Yeah, I was on the couch with the dogs, getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah, I was so surprised. I thought that was a fucking Hail Mary. I was on Twitter. I'm like, okay, what kind of bullshit am I gonna have to talk about tomorrow? And then you're like, oh, come on, let's do it. I was like, fuck yes. Another
It is.
example. Another example.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we got 20% off hog scrub right now and 50% off dog scrub.
Oh,
Next
my wife
days.
ordered subscribed to the soap and she canceled all our other soaps. We're strictly on the hog scrub and she the dog gets bathed in the sink with the dog soap.
Nice. Awesome, dude.
Um
Yeah, I mean, it's good soap. It's gently scented to not overwhelm your dog's senses. And yeah, it's got premium ingredients, aloe and oatmeal, some of the ingredients. So makes your dog's fur super soft. It's great.
20% off the hog scrub and 50% off of what?
Dog scrub.
Oh, no shit. Do they need a code?
Nope.
Oh, how long is that going?
Let's do it for 2 days.
Okay. I love this guy so much. I'm naming my second son after him. My wife wouldn't agree on Iron Hog. Hey, you could do Iron for his first name and Hog for his middle name.
Mhm.
Kind of just slide it in there. My pup will love that soap. Yeah. Also, you should order now to get the deal. But if not, it will also be available in person at the Paper Street Coffee booth at Wadapalooza SoCal.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have some candles there too if I get them figured out in time.
Hey, and if you need a place to stay the week before, if you want to come a week early or a week late, Biomax Peptides, Sarah told me to offer you. It's an awesome spot, dude. And my kids will never leave you alone. But it's an awesome spot right on the ocean. Her oceanfront home is available and it's dope. So if you want to just like not do anything for a week except be bugged by my kids and do pull-up competitions, come a week early or come a week late, bring Allie. So that was Sarah Cox at Biomax Peptides. She offered that up yesterday.
Nice. Yeah, I might come out. Wadapalooza's got a hotel for us, but I might come out anyway.
Yeah, the 4 what's crazy is the like for 4 days during Wadapalooza it's booked, but the week before and the week after it's wide open.
Dang. Yeah, I'm trying to get Chris to come out with us. Yeah, I want Chris to come. I asked if we could bring him.
Is he your muse? The place has like 3 bedrooms. You should bring him.
Yeah, I think me and Olivia are gonna try and get it worked out to bring Chris.
All right. All right, dude. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Always love having you on. Thanks for all the great conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me, dude. Good talking to
All
you
right.
as always.
Say hi to Allie.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Fuck. Maybe I need a weekly show with Colten. Think you'd do it? By the way, yesterday, what was yesterday? Yesterday was Wednesday. Ricky Mack and Jay Crouch and Bailey Martin started a podcast. I listened to the first half of it. Fuck, they're funny. Holy shit. Make sure you go check that out. What a great podcast. We're stoked. Now Thursdays, got something to do. I am pumped. Thursday afternoons, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Bailey Martin, Ricky Mack, and Jay Crouch. A good time to work in the garden for me. That's a perfect time to work in the garden. 10 out of 10. Podcast with Ricky Mack, Jay Crouch, and Bailey Martin was great. Yeah, it was great. It was funny. It's good. I think Bailey's kind of directing it, and Ricky Mack's just dropping in funny one-liners the whole time. You got to rewind to understand what the fuck he's saying. And Jay Crouch is just like found his vocal cords. It was good. Will they make it to episode 5? No. Nope. They will not. So watch the first 5 episodes. Need subtitles sometimes. Yeah, for sure. All right. Tomorrow's show is going to be great. Is tomorrow Friday? Tomorrow we have the female High Rocks world champion on. I'm excited. Alyssa McElhenney. McElhenney? I don't know if the H is silent or not. All right. I will see you guys Oh, no. Sorry, did I say Thursdays at 4 p.m.? It's Wednesdays at 4 p.m. It was yesterday. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.